On the far side, it is.
Oh, is that what happened just
Okay.
now?
Yeah. That's why the screen just went black. So.
What happened?
VMix just crashed.
It's our program.
The
Oh.
broadcast
It's
program.
starting up again.
Okay.
All right. How are you doing?
Do you guys pay the internet? Yeah.
Read it. I asked if we.
Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another fantastic panel here on Q&A Thursday.
We're just hitting them out of the park.
Really?
I feel like this is some would call it a cavalcade of stars.
Cavalcade, a
You've been
smorgasbord.
saying that over and over again.
Yeah, I know, it's fun.
I've literally not been saying that.
Alright,
This is
So-
the first time I've ever uttered those
All
words.
right, guys. We got to introduce our guests, our wonderful guests. Of course, at the far end, you know Renny Doyle.
Hi.
Oh,
How y'all doing?
excellent. And Sydney.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
And, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thanks for having me.
Oh, wonderful. And you didn't have to travel too far.
I didn't. Nope. 4 miles.
Now, on the other hand, Gordon, you did travel a bit.
I popped in from California.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
No, it's excellent having you here. And to all the folks at home, why don't we have each of you, just because I've been doing this more lately, a brief bio from each of you for the people who are watching, who I assume many of them know who you are, but I want to give them a chance to get to know you if they don't. So start with Renny and kind of go down, just like a little 1-minute spiel.
Cool. Well, name is Renny Doyle, and been detailing for many, many years. This year will be actually a little over 40 years of detailing. And I'm a husband, a father, soon to be a grandfather. And pretty cool, right? And I just, I love detailing, an entrepreneur, car guy, and I just, I love life, and I love detailing, and I love you guys, and it's just an honor to be up here, and to have Gordon McCall here, it's pretty amazing. Dude's the real deal in Sydney.
Well, Sydney.
I'm Sydney Gwinn, and I have my own detail shop here in Boise, Idaho. Just celebrated my 8th year in business, which is super cool. And I am also a brand rep and detail specialist for P&S Detail Products, which is so fun. Could not ask to be part of a better team. And here to answer questions today. Super excited.
Right on. Awesome. All right, Gordon.
Awesome. So I'm Gordon McCall. I'm the old guy at the table here. So I've been in this car world for a long, long time. Vintage cars, vintage motorcycles. I've been a customer of P&S for 40 years.
Wow.
Living proof that the products are safe. That seems to be my line the last couple of days.
Somehow they make you look younger. So it's like you,
Buy
I'm gonna
them.
have to start
They're
putting
great.
some of this on.
So detailing was a big part of my life for a long time, and it still is. No longer a profession. I've moved on to kind of an event angle in life and working on my 30th year of producing an event at the Monterey Jet Center every August during Car Week. Co-founded an event called the Quail, which is now 18 years old, takes place during Car Week. Detail Mafia is a big part of both events, and just really happy to be here.
Oh, we
Awesome.
appreciate
That's
it.
awesome,
Thank you.
Amazing.
All right. So, any housekeeping before we start things off here, gentlemen?
Well, we always like to pay the bills, get this party started right. So thanks to our friends at Pepsi, Brooks, and Koenig Wheels for always allowing us to come to you guys and do this Q&A Thursday. But most importantly, we're just here to answer questions,
We are.
help you guys out.
Yep.
As always, sign up for the details. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Dane always likes to remind you all to subscribe to any and all Rag Company YouTube channels.
There are 3 of them.
You can find them all. Just type in the Rag Company. So I think that's it. We don't have much. We have just had a busy, crazy week
Yeah.
getting the car done, having these guys show up, having Juan here. I mean, it's been awesome and insane and exhausting,
It's been a lot of entertaining, Levi.
but a lot of
It
fun.
has. A lot of fun.
So
All right. Well,
let's get this party started, Dane.
Let's start off with a fan favorite. Alex Dewar here, popping in. What's he saying, Levi?
From the Great White North. Happy Friday Eve, guys. What a panel. Hope you're all doing well. Bead Maker and coffee was fantastic. Bead Maker and a foam cannon. Now that's God mode. It's insane. If you do put Bead Maker in a foam cannon, the atomization that happens with a foam cannon almost cures the Bead Maker the moment it's sitting on the surface. So you have to go fast to get it off. But it puts it in the air and it changes the way it smells. It's
wicked.
even more insane.
So cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm gonna have to agree with you, Alex.
Nice. Well, I've got Dan here up next. Oh, I love this. This is one that I guess we're probably going to go on for kind of extended answers.
Okay,
for a little
all
bit.
right.
Put that up on the screen. Question for our fantastic guests. What has your progression of car enthusiasm been like? Do they still have the same allure / zest as when you first got
Damn,
into them?
that's a great
I imagine because, you know, we have some very car-centric folks here. We want to kind of drive up the car angle, and the detailing is important, but more car. So, yeah, why don't we start at your end? Because I know people want to hear this side of the table first.
You know, this will tell you how crazy I am about anything with wheels, literally anything. So I got my start in 1976. Mongoose came out with a BMX bike.
Yeah.
And I took and was able to, with a little help from my mom and grandma, my brother, saved up enough money, and it was a Christmas present to myself. And I rode that bike, customized it, and unfortunately, in football season started, and it got stolen 4 years later. And that bike, why it was important, is I had an attachment on just above the gooseneck for the seat post, and I towed a trailer behind me to all the airports in my local area to detail. And so I for about 2 years, I've been looking for a true mongoose,
Yeah.
and I found one, and I bought it, and it was more than my motorcycle I ride to get
Nice.
an old vintage BMX bike. Here's why it's important: is my heritage.
Yeah.
And when I unboxed that, I'm not kidding you, a lot of emotions, because
Yeah.
when people say they started at the bottom and they got a used van, I started out with a bike, like a lot of us. I'm not the only one. And I guess the reason I get emotion is not for feeling sorry or looking back at it, is I've learned to be proud of myself, which is not easy to do for some of us. But more importantly is that I hope hearing that story, if you think you're broke and you're never gonna make it, get that out of your head. You can do anything you want, even if you start out on a bicycle. And that bike's being hung up. I've got all the original wheels on order, not the original, but error correct wheels ordered.
Yeah.
In addition to that, so that bike's important, right? In addition to that, Gabe, where's Gabe at? We drove over in an '89 4Runner. What was I trying to do, Gordon, on the way over?
Buy it.
I was trying to buy it. And, it's like, and so, it's I probably spend, I'm gonna guess 3 hours an evening on automotive for sale sites, just cruising and learning.
Yeah.
And so it is absolutely one of the biggest parts of my life still today. And it will go until my end days. Simple as that.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
Sid?
awesome.
Yeah, so I was born a car girl. I've always loved cars, grew up loving cars. I was one of those kids that, knew taillights, all that kind of stuff. So I am a huge race fan. Love car racing. I go to the local circle track here a lot. I love NASCAR. And I just love cool cars. So for me at this point in my life to be working with cars, I would say that has only been enhanced. I mean,
Yeah.
my love of cars has only grown over the years. But I mean, I love most cars. I think I would have to say V8s are probably my favorite. Big fan of V8s. I know that's probably bad to say, but yeah. So I've always been into cars, love them, enjoy working on them, and I think that's been one fun thing with my shop is even when I have an old CRV or something, it's still I love just working on them and taking them back to how they used to be when they were new. That's my favorite challenge, and it's just daily satisfaction for me. It doesn't even have to be anything fancy. I love all cars, except for maybe minivans. But.
Gordon?
So Sydney, I think that's V8 Hemis.
Yes, I do.
A little more specific than
If we
that.
wanted to really get down to it, it's a Hemi.
And Renny, I have to find out, how do you keep it to 3 hours?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You said it. Egg timer?
I walk the dog,
Hey, 3 hours though. It's that goes by really fast when you're tracking down cars.
It does.
So my interest in cars today is definitely stronger than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I got an early start. Got an interest in cars very, very young, like most people do. Bought my first car when I turned 16, a Datsun 510. This is in the 70s.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
just kind of worked my way up, kept trading up, fixing up, modifying, trading up, and there's no end to that, which is fun. There's also no limit. There's no barrier of entry limit. Seriously, there's so many projects out there that if you've got any skills whatsoever, if you can fog up a mirror, you can figure out how to improve
Yeah.
a car and sell it for a little more than you paid for it, and just keep bumping up until you get what you're really looking for. Today, though, I find it's almost surreal. So I've had a couple different careers within the car industry. The surreal part comes from becoming friends with people that I thought were just unapproachable. These were like heroes in my mind. Folks like Carroll Shelby and Dan Gurney and Jim Hall from the Chaparral fame. All these things. These were people I watched race when I was a little kid. Staying in the car world and just kind of staying with it, I ended up getting to know these people just as people. And I just think that it's cars that were the catalyst that did that. So therefore my interest today is stronger than it ever has been.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that.
That's
so
awesome.
hanging out with Gordon, one thing you'll find out is that, my addiction, I think all of us love, cars. But there's those people that take in their entire world, meaning the bulk majority of their friendships are based around the same passion, and that's Gordon McCall. Because every day we've been here, if somebody else texting him, he's, oh, look, and it's all around anything with a motor. And it's just, it's pretty cool to see, somebody that you admire that, man, that passion is not just talk. I mean, it's a total lifestyle for him, even further than me, because some of my friends they're just not there. And his the people that call him are pretty impressive. Hey, my friends are cool. I like him calling. I love when he calls me. But it's just, it's just a different Rolodex.
No, that's awesome.
Thanks, Renny.
Well, I know they've had a chance to kind of get to know us, and I don't want to, unless you guys want to talk about your cars for a second. I feel like we got a lot of comments.
We do have to talk about his bikes, because we saw
Well.
2 bikes.
Okay.
We saw 2 bikes. You have to.
True. Okay, bring up the
Come on,
bikes.
Anthony.
What me? I want Dane just give a brief story. Hey, Dane, just talk about how you grew up
Dane
liking
likes weird
you
stuff.
like weird
I like
stuff,
weird
and it
cars.
hasn't changed.
I
Talk
like old
about
school
that.
rally cars. My first car was a Subaru SVX, and it's only gotten stranger from there, so you get the idea.
There you go. All right.
Levi.
I wanted to go to school and become an automotive designer, and part of that was just touching cars. And then I found out that in detailing, I could just touch the cars, and then I didn't have to worry about it. So I stayed detailing, but I like Chevy trucks. It's weird, but it's because that's what I was raised with. It's what I know better than anything, and that's why I do it. So that's me. But And I haven't ever ridden a motorcycle.
Yeah. Well,
I actually don't know how to.
It's never too late.
They look at you and they think you have, so.
Well, that's
because of his tattoos.
It's because of an image I portray.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody
Well,
that
you
I
just
don't know.
did.
We'll get you one of those three-wheeler trikes.
Oh,
Perfect. I would
Yeah.
Automatic. Yeah, just an automatic.
Automatic
Yeah.
three-wheeler.
Anything that says I can't ride more than a trike.
I still wave to him, Gordon. I still wave to him when I'm on the bike and I see him throw out the hand. I throw out a hand too. It is.
It's so relaxing though to ride a three-wheeler, right? Like, you don't have to do anything.
I know,
Might
when
as
you
well be
see
riding
them,
a
and all
Miata.
they're doing is turning like this. I'm like, man.
I'd give $100 to see you ride a trike. That's got to happen our next time.
That's the next pool.
It's got to happen.
So,
Maybe at the Quail event I'll have a little mini trike, a little, like a little mini one. I have detailing stuff in the back of the car. or something.
Maybe not.
It's like, whose trike is this? It's gotta get out of here.
Kick this guy out. Don't let him back in. Okay.
To watch Wednesday.
Yeah.
Somebody with a tray.
But no, I mean, I'm pretty straightforward. You know, I grew up in the Fast and Furious realm of things, and so I like all the Fast and Furious tuner cars. I'm a tuner car guy, but my bike interest has always been all the Euro stuff, and I like, very European bikes, and I like naked bikes, and I think it's because of my European heritage. As many people know, I'm 50% Portuguese, yet I don't know how to speak a word of it. But I think that my parents got me started young on that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, so I like my Euro bikes. So I think they're the coolest. Better quality too.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
all right. So, moving along here, that was a great question, by the way.
That
Dan.
was.
We got Pat Welsh here simply saying, what a great team at PNS.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thanks, Pat. That was good.
Thank you.
Excellent. And then we got Umberto here, of course, saying hello TRC team. And of
First
course, he
from
means you
Puerto
guys by
Rico.
extension.
Yep.
He's a big fan around here. And then Riley. Levi, go ahead and take this one.
How large of an application area should I start with for Legend? Do I start the wipe off as soon as I see it sweat, or when the whole area sweats? How long do I have until it becomes difficult? It's from Riley S.
Great question.
Wow. Okay, so we've been playing with that. Naturally, you always start, because every panel, I always tell people that even as you go from front to back of a car, is that if you've got different UV situations, from front to back, it's going to change. So always start small, work your larger as it allows. And we've learned right now is that it depends on where you're at, what the humidity is going to be. Where I'm at most days, really perfect application process. Cool weather, almost zero humidity, and so we get a lot more work time. But as the humidity and heat goes up, or you've got maybe some exposure to UV lights, that workability is going to go down. And so you guys found that out. You just had your, you just hit it on point with the toweling, which is so important.
Yeah.
Is to use the right towels.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing I'd add, and then we're going to go on because there's a lot of great input, is that start out small, work your way bigger, because paint situation, did you just open it up as an old dry paint? There's so many different and that's with any coating pretty much is going to affect it. And so, start small, work your way big.
Yeah. So just do your test area, figure out what towels work, figure out your timing, how big of a square you can do. And yes, it's going to sweat, but on what we find is on older paints, maybe it doesn't sweat. So if the paint is really dry and old, you're going to be a pretty quick wipe off on that. It is not going to sweat, so maybe don't watch for the sweating. And so I really like, if you guys haven't seen it, check out Levi's towel cracking the code video. I think that was a great video that's going to help everybody quite a bit. Definitely one thing I think we found is long pile towels are not the best for the first wipeout.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's a no on that. But otherwise, Legend's been great to work with. It's fantastic coating, and so far it's just been great. So it is just figuring out, and every car is going to be different, just making sure you do your test panels first.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, like Sydney said, was I took what Sydney had taught us, which was check and make sure it could wipe off well.
Yeah.
And so when I talked about it does have a tendency to sweat. It creates kind of a raceway or lanes, as we call them.
Lanes.
So you'll see the coating create these little lines on the surface, and that's when you know you're within the timing. Now, that could change based on your temperature, your humidity, all that stuff. Give or take, I don't have a timing, but I'm going to say guesstimate maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes from the start of that till the end of that 2 minute period once you see those lanes, because it may be an extra 30 seconds from the time you see those lanes. It could be an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's where you were saying you've got the little test spots, check it.
Yeah.
Well, I found that my movement was the thing that I was having. I needed to know when the surface was, and I was the one putting the friction on the surface
Yeah.
rather than letting the towel.
Right.
And so when I talked about the creature,
It moves,
basically the towel will allow itself to move on the surface, but if it doesn't, that's when that towel shifts. It's so high pile still or so thick that it shifts underneath your hand,
Yep.
and the other side that's in contact with the surface stays put.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you're not quite ready. And so that's kind of a more of an elaboration, but it's
Yeah.
based off of the things that
Yeah.
you guys taught me. I'm just trying to make it
Yeah.
work for everybody. So
The other thing is there's no curing time that's the same because,
Right.
it could be, you could put it on and 5 seconds later, it's ready to go.
Right, exactly.
Or at my shop, when we tested this winter, really low humidity, man, we had a minute.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so, but really, in general,
It's
you put
working
it
that
on,
small.
and it,
Work
and
small
it's
and
pretty
watch
much
it.
go.
Yeah.
Pretty much go. If that towel hangs up, could maybe slow down, wait 5 or 10 more seconds, but it's usually within about 10, 15 seconds.
Yep.
It's going to be ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm about, in my shop, I'm usually about 35 seconds to a minute. But here's a quick tip. If you've waited past the ideal window, right? Rather than forcing the coating off there, because Legend is similar to Inspiration, it is cannibalistic. So if you've waited a little bit too long, just go back over that area, reapply it, and then take it off.
Yeah.
But don't try to force that coating off. You might run into some marring or streaking, and don't do that to yourself. Just run back over that area with the applicator and, let the Legend rehydrate
yeah.
itself, and then just wipe off a little bit faster.
Yep.
Sure.
So,
Well, if I can add to that,
Go for it.
I think also if you're starting to sweat, it's going to become more difficult.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Take it easy.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Good point.
That's a good topic. Next up, we've got Delphine Bez here. Anthony, why don't you read this one?
Dane, I can't see that.
Hey
but,
guys, adverse weather lately. I have not been detailing often. How bad is Bead Maker when you breathe it, and do our COVID masks protect at all?
Huh.
Wow, Delphine, I've never even thought of that. But
Never considered that one.
yes, I think your mask would be just fine, and I don't think it's a problem when you're breathing it.
Yeah.
So
As always, if you've got concerns, if it's
Yeah.
making you cough, is go get a respirator,
Yeah.
chemical respirator, and wear that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that anytime that you don't have to breathe any chemical is a good day.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and while we make products safe, as they are products, and we're human beings with bodies that react differently to each chemical.
And each person's different.
That's exactly it. But I can tell you, I've got a theory I've been sharing for 20 years. If it's on you, it's in you. And if you're breathing it, it's in you. And so, is wide open space probably the best. But here's the kind of, if it makes you have a little tickle or you cough, you need to go ahead and protect up a little more.
Yeah, that's a good,
Totally fair
good one
assessment.
too.
Yeah.
wheel acid will definitely make you cough, and so that's where you probably should wear a mask for something like that.
They-
you
The
know-
dastardly thing was making you smell so good.
They used to say you had to cough to get off.
Oh, did they?
Yep, that's
Okay.
what they used to
Next
say.
question.
Chris Woolman, did Renny break something? He was referring to earlier when we were having the little technical.
Oh, yeah.
Blame it on
What do you
Renny.
mean? Why
Blame it on Renny.
You know?
Chris Woolman section. I love
Oh,
that.
boy. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and Despacho just wanted to say you guys are his favorites. So.
Thank you. That's cool. Thanks,
And,
thanks a ton. You're my favorite too.
We got Future Prison here. Happy Thursday Eve / Friday, TRC crew. Yet another stellar guest line. He says Stella, but I figure he means
Yeah.
stellar.
Well, he's from Australia.
He's got his coffee ready. Yeah, so excited.
Oh, there you go. I want some.
Very cool.
Send some over.
We're
You
big
know?
coffee fans.
Yeah.
And we got Neil White simply saying hello, Redco.
Neil, what's up,
Neil.
buddy?
Early on. That's how far behind we are. But that's okay.
24 minutes
David
fine.
Cervantes here, popping in. thank you for doing this, David. I saw earlier Ed wanted to ask that question, and you're asking it for him because he couldn't be here for it, so thank you.
All right.
Go ahead, Levi.
Question from one Ed Iverson, as he won't be here. How would you go about removing motor oil from cloth seats? 08 Elantra only has a steamer and no extractor. So the problem is it's an 08 Elantra and not a 2006 Elantra. In 07, the 07, 08, 09 body style is a new body style. They changed the fabric on those seats, on the cloth.
Big
They
time.
changed it to the Yes Essentials
That's the Yes
fabric,
Essentials.
Yeah.
which is a horrible nightmare
Is that what
of a
happened?
fabric.
In other words, what Levi's saying, it's crappy.
Yeah.
It's really bad, and they when they did that, they made it really difficult. That fabric is known as one of the worst fabrics ever made in the history of mankind. However, very green, made with recycled water bottles.
So are you
But-
saying scissors?
Scissors, or what you should do is find some from an 06, go to the junkyard, pull those seats, put them in there. They may bolt up, I don't know, but that's a better fabric. And
Yeah.
it's a better cloth in the 04, 05, 06.
Okay, but how does he work
Let's-
with what he's got? What would you do?
So you're going to need a degreaser because
Yeah.
you do have to break up that grease. Carpet bomber will actually work pretty well
Terminator
to
will
help
work
break
great.
that.
Terminator.
Terminator will also work
Yeah.
phenomenally well. So utilizing Terminator and that
Yeah.
would get you a long ways. But make sure if that stuff doesn't touch it, you need to break that first layer of the oil through by getting it with a degreaser.
You know, one of the things that you do is, let's say this is your
And an
spot.
extractor would be your best bet. But if you have a steamer, that'll help because the steamer will encapsulate a lot of that oil.
So
too,
what you
and
do is,
emulsify
let's say
it.
this is your oil spot.
Yeah,
What you're going to do is you're going to take Terminator and you're going to go to the outside ring
yeah,
and not touch it. You're going to put in. What that will do is keep it from spreading out
Yeah.
and becoming what they call
kind of creates
pluming.
like a fire break.
Yeah, exactly. Then what you do from there is you take and you'll lightly saturate it. You're going to slowly add steam to it, not water, steam. And you're going to take steam it, and you're going to take a dry towel, and you're going to want to use microfiber because it's super absorbent, right? And you're going to slowly start bringing that out. And as you do that, is that you repeat, let it dry, don't oversaturate. That everybody puts too much liquid down. You want to take it slowly, just spray and mist it on, slowly get it wet so it doesn't spread out. Then you start hitting it with your steam a little harder. From there, you go to a diaper wrap on the steam. Then you start dry extracting it. I wouldn't even extract it at all. I would dry extract it, pull it out, and if you use the right techniques, and we've only got a couple minutes, but if you use basically that technique there, I won't tell you you'll get it out, but you'll make it a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
And wasn't one of the tricks, just because I'm trying to remember, I think my Volvo had that fabric, and the trick was to, like, hide a stain, you basically have to create a bigger stain?
Yes, for certain stains.
Oh, okay. But not in this case, because it's...
Well, unless there's a stain left. The problem is
Yeah.
that the way that seats are woven, that's the problem, is that they created so many different shapes, basically, inside that weave, that dirt could...
It lodges.
It was like a 10-sided dice or whatever, 12-sided dice. Like,
The dodecahedron.
yeah, you could get dirt in random corners on the whole surface, but you'd never get all of it
Okay.
out. So,
No, something to know.
yeah.
Next up, I've got Eric Alvaretto.
Ooh, been meaning to buy a gallon of Bead Maker and Pearl from TRC. Then
Do it.
Go-
Do it.
What are you
Get
waiting
after it.
for?
What are you waiting
Time is
for?
in
Just
it.
go buy it.
All right. Then I got some comments about hearing audio in the background, but this one I must go to because David Cervantes dropping in a $100
Wow.
super
99.
chat.
Wow.
That was extremely kind.
Look at that.
What a donation. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Treating
what's he
company
saying?
to some pizzas after the UK cut. Happy Friday Eve.
Thank you,
UK
dude.
cut
That's awesome.
ends June 6th.
Is it June
Wow.
6th?
I believe so.
Oh, no. I need
Pay
to
the
catch
internet
up in the last
bill.
2
No,
weeks.
that's still
We
long
were on
days.
the good track of losing weight. Right now, Gabe's killing all of us. So we're either going
Well,
to
Gabe's
take
taking it
Gabe
to,
out and
Gabe's like been towing, like he's been running to work with
Right.
like the Civic strapped to his back around like a belt.
Yeah.
And like we've been going, why are you doing that? And he's like, I'm gonna win. I gotta win the UK
I saw him
cut.
climbing the Capitol stairs the other day and going
Yeah,
like this.
yeah, he was doing some
And
rocky
I
stuff.
was like,
There was a
what are
bunch
you-
of children around him. I said, those kids have to be be in school.
You're like, what are you doing, man? Yes. Anyways, so Gabe's taking a little bit too
Yeah.
far.
Kyle Clark here says some of my favorite people.
My favorite.
Yeah,
Kyle's my favorite.
It's like we call him our big kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I want to back up on the weight loss
Yes.
quickly.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
as an observer,
Yes.
shared a few meals with you all.
Yeah.
There's no weight loss happening.
No.
Just-
Yeah,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
never
the only meal we're
seen-
eating today.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Whatever
there
you
was
guys
that
eat.
much
More
fried
food.
food available.
Like by the fifth meal, we're like, maybe we don't need to do
finger
fries.
steaks,
Producing,
other
Anthony,
stuff.
from 8 tacos down to 2.
Yeah, you only had
Yeah.
you had a bowl of stuff today.
Oh yeah, no, I just didn't eat the tortillas, but I have added everything inside the tortillas and then some. So
Yes.
it's not any better.
A lot of exercise to make up for.
Well, that's why you see we've got a lot of number of sugar-free drinks and water here.
That's right.
Sugars
This
and
is how we save calories.
All right, Dane, what do we got next
Next
here?
up, Eric also pointing out he loves the Cobra in the background.
Ah, the rag cobra.
Yeah, we pulled it out of the garage. We had to dust it off.
And then Neil White.
I started using Brake Buster about a month ago. I absolutely love it. Thanks,
There you
Nice,
go.
Neil.
Nice. Oh, Mountain Town Detail here.
Hey, Anthony.
Bam.
That's
All
Mountain Town
right.
Detail Ambassador of the Year
2020. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Hey, Sydney, I saw your window cleaning method the other day, and dang, it works so well, especially with TrueView coming out of my Chemtrol.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
It's
So-
life changing.
He's the one that won our Grand Ambassador of the
Oh,
Year,
very
so
good.
he won the prize pack for 2020.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which included the Chemtrol
which
unit.
included a Chemtrol
Yes, I
unit
saw
from
that.
PNS.
So
And he's been
cool.
using it. He did a whole setup on it and everything
Yeah.
like that on his YouTube channel, and it's really cool. It's cool to see that thing in action. All the different uses that he has for it. We got this
Yeah.
water supply all hooked up. It's
Yeah.
sweet, man. It's
I
awesome.
Love
Nice.
Chemtrol. It's like my
I love
favorite
I
thing.
love your company name too, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just cool.
So he's up
That's
in Montana.
yeah,
So
that's a
he,
cool.
so
That's
he
a
does it
cool
out of
name.
Montana, and
I
his
see him on social media, and
yeah,
it's like that's a
brand,
cool
his
name.
branding's pretty cool.
It
He's,
is.
he's getting his truck all done up. Actually, I think here pretty soon, and so. But the branding's pretty awesome.
No,
Yep.
you're making a real
Yeah.
deal of it.
So we just filmed another video for the glass cleaning method today, so stay tuned for that. That was
Yep,
pretty
yep.
fun, huh?
We did it on the
Nice.
Subi.
Yeah, did it on the Subaru.
Next up, I got Sam here.
Happy Friday Eve, TRC
Sam?
gang and crew. Excited for this Q&A. Thanks, Sam.
Oh, Mr. Trollin 86.
Oh,
There we go.
Mr. Trollin 86. Happy Friday Eve. Just finished soaking my microfiber towels overnight in PNS R2R. Best stuff on the planet. Excited to try Legend as my next coating.
Right
Heck
on.
yeah, man.
Good work,
Yeah.
man.
Let us know how you like it. Tag us.
All right, excellent. And, oh, definitely don't see that question there.
Okay.
MMC popping up.
Oh my God, first time here live, and what a first time it is.
There you go.
Nice.
Thanks, man. Tuning in.
Yeah.
Another cool. Look at that logo, MMC.
Yeah.
That's a cool
Yeah.
logo. Simple. I like
And
it.
then it's Boomski.
Hawaii
Hey, we're talking
checking in.
about
Aloha
Right on.
detail,
Aloha,
fam.
man.
Nice, man.
What's up, buddy?
Aloha.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're just talking about Hawaii at lunchtime.
Yeah, we
We're
were.
just
Yeah.
talking about it.
and Umberto wanted to make sure. He said the PNS team too.
What's up, man?
Roberto?
All right, and I've got, let's see, we got Shelby Buck here.
Shelby Buck says, I recently bought a pressure washer. Unfortunately, it doesn't have adjustable pressure. If I'm careful, is it okay to use a 3,500 PSI pressure washer to wash my personal truck? Shelby, you don't need that much pressure.
It's a lot of power.
I guarantee you the pressure washer you bought has plenty of power. You get too far, you're going to start blowing paint off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, put the right tip on it. Stay back from it. If it's only one you got, you're gonna use what you got. But you just got to use sensibility.
Yeah.
Stay away from
Stay
it.
away.
Get back. Put that white tip on it. And
Don't get too close.
that's
yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah.
Just take your time.
Inspect paint before you get up close.
Yeah,
Just
make
start
sure you
blasting
know.
Yeah,
stuff.
Shelby, you'll be
See
fine.
like a crack or something.
Watch your fingers.
Vinyl, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it will blow it right off.
Yep. Yeah, just be careful, Shelby. You're good.
Love your name, Shelby. What a cool name.
She's an Idaho girl.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
And Chris popping back in. But did you find a set of training wheels to go with the monkey?
Crying emoji.
Listen here, big boy.
Nothing.
If you want a little bike off challenge,
There you
I'll
go.
take
It's a
you to
great
that.
idea. You
I'll
guys
take
should
you
do
to
that.
And Umberto back again.
Renny, I rode a Mongoose BMX2 and competed in Puerto Rico in the 80s. I detailed my bike too. You made me remember those great days, and now ride my mountain bike.
That's cool, dude.
That's awesome.
We can relate, can't we? I mean, it's pretty cool.
And Ricky Cologne. Ah, yes, Ricky Cologne back here saying, hello, team. almost missed this one. Hope you guys are having a heck of a week.
Thanks, Ricky.
Likewise.
Oh, familiar looking name. Pull up J Pate here.
Hey guys, happy Friday Eve. Do you guys do private label towels for different companies? And if so, who can I talk to about that at the Rag Company? Jay Pate, you can talk to Josh at theragcompany.com. He will let you know.
And this one, I feel like, well, we're going to have some interesting, good answers for this one. William Quintana here asking, are any of you guys tool heads, like fancy Snap-on tools or Sonic tools or anything? I feel like Gordon, you might know something about this.
Yeah, I'm a Snap-on addict.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was working at a Ferrari dealership many, many years ago, the Snap-on tool truck would come by once a week, and I was paying more per week for my tool bill than I was my rent at that time, because you had to have them.
Yeah.
They were just, not only did you need them for what you were doing, but they're the coolest tools on the planet. Plus, back then, there were no other options. You either went to a Sears to buy Craftsman. There were no other trucks on the route. It was Snap-on, and
it was convenience.
well, and it was kind of like the crack dealer coming by every week. It was,
You brought it to me, guys.
yeah, didn't have to go far for that. So yeah, absolutely a tool head. There's no end to that. Doesn't stop. I think it's ironic that Harbor Freight owns Snap-on.
Yeah.
Which is like, really?
I did not know that.
Today I learned.
Yeah. So
That's
I
interesting.
don't know. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, tools are fantastic. You've got to have the right tool to do the job right, no doubt about it. And Snap-on, pretty awesome.
Solid. Anybody else want to add to that?
I'm a gearhead. Not really a tool head, but I'm a gearhead. I just love gear, whether it's search and rescue, military, detailing. I got to have gadgets, you know. I just love that stuff. So not necessarily tools, but definitely gear.
Do you ever carry a rope with you?
I carry rope with me pretty much all the time.
So there's a local guy here, Renny. I think you'd like his business. He makes, it's a canister of rope, right? It's like that really, really thick twine, but it's basically it's a canister. You pull it up and it cuts it as it goes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a disposable type of thing. And he's been doing a lot of stuff with search and rescue and stuff.
Yeah,
Like that. He works for Idaho Power and does it on the side, making it's called rapid rope is what it's
I'll
called.
have to look that up.
Yeah, check it out. It's a pretty sweet little gig.
Yeah, I'm one of these guys. We have what we call bailout ropes or emergency ropes when we're carrying. I've got each pack's got it, and I'll be in REI or somewhere, and I'll see a color, and I'll go ooh, and Diane's like, God, you got like 50 of them, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not that color, so.
It's not that one.
Yeah.
I don't want that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Levi, do you have any tools that you like to use? Like, do you forge your own tools?
Yeah.
I haven't forged any of my own tools yet, but I've been buying lots of hammers, and I've been searching and investigating for blacksmithing hammers.
Like Milner?
Kind of, yeah. But
Okay.
basically, different weights.
Yeah.
I never realized that different weights did so many different things or felt so different or actually could move steel the way that it does. And so I've got a couple good hammers, but that's been like really what's pushed me more. I've always just had tools. I've always done things with them. Bike tools, that's for bicycles. I have a ton of park tools stuff. And when I worked at a bike shop, that was the best way to do it, because the bike tools seem like they're more expensive than regular tools for some reason, but
They're pretty specific.
they are very specific. So I have a lot of those, but my normal car working tools are one of those things where I always kind of went to Harbor Freight, grab what I could get. Now, the tool that I wish I had right now at the MOS HQ
Yeah.
was our good buddy Jackie Daytona over here.
Oh yeah.
Our new floor jack.
Kind of see it there right behind Gordon there. It's
just
an
over his
orange.
shoulder. It's
It is beautiful.
He's up. He's in
It is
the-
a
he's in the
regular human
increase-
jack.
Regular
It is,
human jack.
it is
And,
a piece of the company now.
Yeah.
It's
So
used-
that I'm a little jealous of. I wish I had that. So I'm thinking that might be my next purchase.
Yeah.
For the MOS HQ.
well,
is a Jackie Daytona.
And so while I appreciate Harbor Freight tools, and I actually have one Snap-on 3/8 ratchet that I didn't know I had, and I found it in a bin. I thought I was pretty excited about that. I'm a big fan of the nut-busting torque of the Milwaukee impact wrench.
You are a
right?
huge fan of that.
So I am pretty much. I wouldn't say I'm a Milwaukee guy through and through. I mean, but
You're
I
pretty much a Milwaukee guy.
I mean, I
through
do
and
have 5 powered tools. I'm talking those electric tools are so freaking powerful nowadays. It will blow your mind.
They
If
are.
you ever want to know what the power of the world feels like,
Yeah.
grab that 1/2-inch impact gun, right, and just bust any nut you want. I mean, you can literally go up to anything and take it off. It's amazing. I mean, literally anything. I can't think of something I haven't been able to bust off.
See, that's how I am with outdoor equipment, like for the yards and stuff. Ego, the blowers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm over the top, man. They got
Amazing.
They got a battery pack generator,
They do.
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, this is cool, you know. And it's just, I mean, now I had to go buy their weed eater. I got the whole thing now.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can blow pretty much anything with those, and so I honestly, between the two of them, I use the Ego on my car all the time, and so I use it to blow dry my car all the time.
Anthony, you're sounding more and more like a Drake song right now.
It actually is.
It's not really, and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to simply say that, hey, I love Milwaukee tools, and I think EO tools have come a far way when it comes to electric stuff. And so
And
it's
on
pretty
that
cool.
note, knowing just how classy we are, I've got a comment here from Shad.
Ah, Shad. As true giants of the industry, what have been some of the most important self-development practices you've adopted to continue to level up and lift the industry? Renny?
Big words.
I really got into implanting, just thinking right, and it's a skill set that a couple mentors are teaching us right now, and it's I used to think and hear people like Oprah Winfrey, these other people. Oh, I really envision it, and it's really true. It sounds like hokey pokey stuff, but as many of us that are entrepreneurs, I can have a hard time sleeping at night, and I started implanting different thoughts into my head. Look up implanting. And it's pretty amazing, and it's changed my life, especially in the last 2 years. Because now I get a little stressed out about something, I can implant a whole different, and literally in seconds I'm asleep. And so it's pretty cool if you look it up.
That's pretty
awesome.
cool. All right, what do we got next here, Dane?
Well, do you want to ask?
Well, I was going to say,
everybody
this
else?
is
Oh,
kind of
sorry.
a lot more
Are we
people
going through everybody?
Yeah.
the only
Yeah,
one.
How far
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're
Sydney, Gordon, anything?
I know, we're going to do these
For
three. and
me,
then I'm
it's
gonna
just
burn
never
through.
stop learning. I think that, we always have to be careful about not always thinking we know everything and that we're the best at something. Every time that we go anywhere, I think we always learn something from each other even.
yeah.
And so I think that it's always keeping your eyes open, always learning, going to continuing education, getting involved with the IDA, taking further training. You're just always going to learn little nuggets of information that are always going to level you up. And so it's just never thinking you know the best way. Even like, for example, the glass cleaning. I thought I had a really great glass cleaning method, and then I learned something different and it's even better. And so I just think that always learning and always being open to new knowledge and things
willingness
change.
to learn.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Setting goals and achieving them. That's something I've tried to do for a long, long time, and there's just no end to it. Right when it's achieving them, which is the key, right? Setting realistic goals and achieving them. The learning thing, Sydney, is absolutely dead on. There's something about believing that you're the best at what you do because you've worked hard at doing it. I think that's a little misguiding. I think it's something that let others figure that out. Maybe strive to be the best, but never believe you are, type of thing. That seems to be effective, at least in my life.
Humility helps.
Yeah, it
Big
sure
time.
does. It sure does.
Guys,
Oh,
I'm including
so
you in this. So.
take care of your body.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I think
Great
that's
point.
the thing that I never learned throughout my detailing career. I worked too hard and worked too long, and paying for it now. So it just take time out to not work. Take
Yeah.
some time
Yeah.
off to relax
Amen.
and rest and
Yep.
take care of yourself. I think, and
Well
that's
said.
both ways, physically and mentally.
Well
I
said.
think too many people take that for granted.
All right.
Anthony, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I think everybody else is spot on.
No,
I
they
don't,
were
I
all
don't
great
look at
points.
myself as a giant of an industry at all. I just look at myself as just, got
I look at myself as a giant
Oh,
in the
that's
industry.
good. I don't. I just look at all
Like I
of us
said,
as good
humility
friends.
helps.
Yeah, that's how I look at us.
Yeah, we're all just friends, man.
We're all good friends.
Thank you, Shad.
Very nice.
But no, I think I just I probably say the only thing I say is I try not to lose my creativity, and I like to try to continue
Right.
to develop my creativity and just think out of the box as much as I can.
Yeah. Next up, I've got Dan here saying, bold move, placing your drinks so close to the P&S bottles. Hope you don't mix them up.
I know.
That's a good point.
We don't either.
Yeah.
Next one, fun one. We got Ozzy Bear, the rooster. Crazy name. Get him up there.
Love P&S products. The 16-ounce bottles, sprayers are hard to remove. Maybe a redesign is a possibility.
No, I'm
So-
going to tell you a secret because
Yeah,
I
go
just
for
told
it.
Anthony this yesterday. So Dave taught me this. There is a pressure point in each lid, and you just have to find the pressure point, and it makes it easy to turn. So there's like a secret pressure point. Once you've broken that once, then it's usually easy to get it off.
It's like a prescription bottle. You just got to find that little
Yep. There's a
spot
pressure
in there.
point. And, it takes a little muscle the first time, but I can do it. I showed you.
And here's why we can't redesign it. It's
She had to
called
open the bottle
shipping.
for me.
I did. I had to, yep.
We have to meet certain requirements for shipping in all the states and countries that we
Yeah.
do. And if you don't have those ratchets, you can't ship into certain spots
Yep.
or ship with certain companies. So we're really, in some degrees, our hands are tied.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair point.
But once you get it loosened up the first time, you're good to go.
Just squeeze it. Great point. Just
Yep.
squeeze it around.
Just find the right
it,
point.
and go.
Yep.
Look at Anthony's doing it.
I got it kind of, and
Yeah.
it started hurting my hand again.
Well,
So
Anthony's over here. I loosened it for you.
I have soft hands.
Yeah. I got Chad here.
All right, Chad saying best polished pad single step for a brand new Subaru before applying Legend.
Ooh, single step.
Best polished
Pad.
pad single step. Pad is that
La-
pad and like
last
a-
cut. And I think an orange
single
HDO
step?
pad has
Yeah,
been
you could
really
do-
good.
The question is,
or-
what are you starting with?
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're starting with.
Yeah, how bad is it? You're just trying to do a polish job.
Or
I mean,
blueberry buff and shine pad.
I mean, if it's brand,
if
if it's brand new, I mean, you're like, yeah, probably
yellow foam, maybe.
mild
Yeah.
pad, mild compound, mild polish, and,
Yeah.
and you can go
Contamination
even
free,
buff
though.
and,
I mean,
buff and
Yeah.
shine white if it's on a Subaru and it's kind of
Yeah, buff and shine white.
I've got a 2019 Subaru and it's kind of funky paint and not seriously funky, but a little bit. And so I'd probably say mellower is better. You depend on what product you're going to go. And there's so many great products out there, you know.
All right. And then I got our pause here.
Hello, TRC crew, Renny, Sydney, and Gordon. Our pause from Chicagoland, enjoying a fantastic Q&A Thursday. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Dane, how far are we behind on comments?
27 minutes, so not
Okay,
that bad.
so not that
actually.
Okay, not too bad.
I'm only on page 2 as opposed to like 5 or 6. So
Okay.
Okay,
we're
good.
doing all right.
We're all right.
All right, I got
All right.
Aaron's up there.
Aaron's so-called life. How does PNS Legend compare to other coatings like OptiGloss or CarPro C-Quartz? PNS.
Aaron's asking the hard questions.
It's
as
a
always.
good question. If you're talking about like Optimum Gloss Coat and CarPro C-Quartz,
There's different
those are
levels.
different. Those are different coatings. If you're talking about OptiCoat and CarPro C-Quartz, then you're getting closer. But I'm going to say that Legend is probably in a class by itself in the sense that it's stronger than both of those
It's like a
and lasts longer.
It's like a consumer available version of a top tier
Yeah.
professional
Yeah.
grade
It is.
product.
Yes.
It's where it fits
Yeah.
in the line.
We've
So,
Yeah.
we've put
Kind
it
of a different
against
animal.
we've put it against some of the best. I mean, Medessa, other coatings, Fine Labs, a lot of them. G Technic, some fine coatings, and we think that the depth is incredible, longevity is incredible.
Yeah.
But it is a very professional grade coating, and you got to treat it with respect. But we've tested it a long time. We put a lot of seat time into the testing of getting it on a lot of different cars. We've got one of our good friends, Jeremy's in Hawaii. He said his average temperature is 85 degrees when he's coating, with 90% plus humidity, and he loves it.
Yeah.
all right. Next up, I've got Airborne here. Want to know how long, say, Bead Maker would last? Because it says long-lasting shine. How long do you expect it to last?
Well, Airborne, that Airborne, that depends on where you're at and how you're caring for it.
Yes.
If you're putting it on your car and then 3 days later you're running it through an automatic car wash, there's a potential that it may not last. If you're putting it on Air Force One and it's sitting under cover
Open walls
and it's
that are
and
covered
it's
over top.
hanging out and it's not seeing a lot of stuff, it's going to be all right. If it's
Yeah.
going on your car that maybe you drive, maybe it's your fun car, or say something like the Red Cobra that doesn't really get out all that often, it's going to last as long as it needs to.
I'd love to get Gordon's input on this. So I've got an STI 2019 that I drive hard. I drive and I live in the mountain community. It's driven year round. I use so it's coated now. It's coated. The car's coated with Legend. with Soul over the top of that, and then Bead Maker off the top. I use, after every wash, I use Bead Maker as a drying agent. And I literally don't have to put Bead Maker back on. Just even a light dose like that is it just stays constant. So if you're not doing that, you're hand washing at home, a couple, 2-3 months is reality. If you're beating it up, as Levi said, it's going to be less. But you've got it. I mean, your Porsche, what's on the 911? What are you getting longevity wise?
Really long, because the car doesn't see a lot of UV.
Yeah.
It spends most of its time inside. I drive it a lot, but it's garaged, even during the day at work. So it holds up a long time. I mean, that car was coated 2 years ago, and I think every time I wipe it down, I do use Bead Maker just because I like the smell of it and it works good, right?
Can't blame you for that. That's my favorite.
So that's kind of an extreme case of something that potentially lasts years. And that's not exaggerating, right? So I'd say everywhere from 3 days, Levi, running it through a nasty car wash, to years. And so just figure out where you land in the use of your car in between there.
It's really a dream maker of a product.
No, you can say
that.
The one point we always try and make with people is, like you said, using it as a drying agent. If you're using it with every wash, maybe it's a car that gets washed every week or two. It lasts forever. Technically, you just keep replacing it, but at the same time, it's not really. People get hung up on longevity, and I find that's often something people get lost on it when it's really not the most important thing to be concerned about. User experience, the other factors, how well it protects from sunlight, the UV protection offers. There's a lot of benefits to it.
There are.
So.
Yeah, I use it all the time because I want my car to stay cleaner and easier, and I'm lazy.
Well, and
I
I'd
wanna
rather
wash
smell
fast
it
and get out
than
and
almost
ride
any
it.
other product too.
Exactly.
So there's
Yeah.
that.
There's that.
Yeah, and I'll chime in here real quick. So a lot of what I do in my shop is primarily using Bead Maker as my sealant. That's what all of my customers get. And so I think it's really important to know what is under what you're putting it on. So whether you're putting it on a coating or a brand new paint or a really abused paint, dry paint. So primarily in my shop, I always clay the car and use Bead Maker. And Renny and Gordon, I had the pleasure of having them up to my shop last night, and they got to help me on a car. And the car that we had was a brand new Escalade last summer, and came straight to me, did not have any other protection on, totally decontaminated the car, clayed it, then put Bead Maker on it. And this was 8 months ago, and there was still...
I asked her, I said, wow, this car, because I didn't know she had worked on it before, and I asked her, I said, man, somebody put something on this vehicle because it's still shedding the water pretty good. And she goes, well, and then she tells me the story.
It's only Bead Maker.
Really slick.
Yeah, only Bead Maker. So I think that is a testament that, if you have it prepped right and the paint's in good condition and you're caring for it, and in that 8 months, it's had nothing done to it. And I see that all the time, because I usually see a lot of my cars back every 6 to 8 months, and a good amount of them come back with, you can still tell there's something on there. So I think that's important, is what is it going on top of?
Absolutely.
What's the substrate?
Well, and to follow up, the next question is actually directed by Bead Maker as well. So
Okay.
I'll just have Delphine ask hers as well here. I once applied Bead Maker under the hot sun and it dried instantly under the towel. Still, it seemed to work. For me, it is midday or end of day when tropical night and humidity rises. What's best?
Oh, we found that at Monterey because we had we have a lot at your event and then the Quail.
Sun's always out.
Absolutely, and so naturally, a lot of times what we do is in sunny situations is we apply directly to towel, wipe it, and then buff with a dry towel. When the humidity went up, we had dew or so forth like that. A lot of times what we found is just apply it right over the dew, and let it sit for just a second, and then two-towel method.
The dew's your friend.
And sweep it, and then really important that, again, right toweling is you come back and you buff over with a dry towel and move on. And so that's our technique.
No, the dew is serious there, though. I mean, it is something that I have never seen that before in my life. It basically comes back to life after you knock it down.
As soon as you dry it down, the car is wet again.
And you think there's no way, and you're fighting this stuff, and you're wringing out towels more than you've ever done.
I think there's a picture of you and me wringing a towel out because we couldn't wring it out anymore.
There was me and there was
Anthony hanging out over a LaFerrari going, oh my God,
there's a white LaFerrari, and I'm sitting there, and I'm actually complaining about wiping the car down
because I said I can't beat this. It's literally the faster I ring my towel, the faster it comes back. It was crazy.
So when we build Wagnarok for this year's Mount Monterey,
Our detail wagon.
our detail wagon,
Yeah.
we're gonna put some rollers on it so we can ring
dry
out
'em
some
out.
ringers,
Ding 'em.
so we can ring
idea.
out some towels because we want to be prepared for that dude.
Well, we're going to have a container full of towels, sitting back there at the ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that and we just need to make sure that we sent the right number of towels. Someone didn't put them
Oh,
in
they
the
didn't all
truck
make it?
like he was supposed to. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
It starts,
Is he in the
it starts
studio?
with a Keith and ends with a
yeah.
Duplessis.
I think we know the guy.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now though, there is no more. I can't think of a more beautiful morning
Oh,
than
is that
than,
gorgeous?
than those
Oh, that was my
mornings
favorite
there.
All those
I can't
Bentleys
think-
lined up across the way.
Gorgeous.
I
I
can't
was
think of a
like,
more
come
beautiful
to this-
morning.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is my
And
idea
your
of heaven.
life is really bad. And Gordon McCall comes up to you and he says, "Hey, do me a favor. Would you wipe
His
down
ears are burning.
Would you wipe down the 17th LaFerrari on the right?" I was like, "Would that be the red one or the cream one or the black one?"
Yeah.
Here we thought, all of us, we see LaFerraris. It's not all that much. And then you go to Gordon's event and pretty much every one of them that exist was there at one point, and it was pretty. We just sat there and we died. It was just amazing.
Well, I think one of my most memorable parts was when me and Nate were sitting there and we see that I think that the Hennessy, not Venom,
yeah,
it's
the
the
Venom GT.
It's the Venom.
Or the F5 is
The
The
F5,
F5 was the F5 was the white and black one 2
Well,
years
that's
ago.
the
F5
GT.
camo.
That's the Venom
That's the GT.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
the case. I think so it was the Venom GT when it was
Yeah.
rolling in on the green, and he had shut off the engine. He was waiting for his moment in line, and me and Nate, who our photographer, were looking at each other like, he's gonna start it up. He's gonna start it
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and then he hits it, and I mean, it just was shattering.
Right.
It was.
Anthony, I just talked to John the other day. He's bringing the F5 that's a fully functional car at this point. He's bringing that to the Jet Center.
Wow, that's going to be phenomenal. I mean,
300 mile an hour car. And by the way, that dew on the Monterey Peninsula, we call that rain in California.
yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes more sense. Yeah, now you say that. I kept coming back.
Speaking of dew, the last thing I'll show here before we go to a break is dirt dew.
Hey, Dirk Dew from Germany.
Hey,
saying,
what's
hey
up,
guys,
man?
Wie geht's?
How you doing, buddy? Good to see
Together,
you.
nice
man.
day.
Yeah.
Greetings from Germany. So,
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more as always. So
Yeah.
we'll see you in just a couple.
Right on.
so if you guys.
Yeah, I did. I'm actually looking for some cars for him right now. I think Dane would look great in a Reliant Robin. Levi, maybe another high-performance machine, Elantra. And Anthony, probably another Civic. Man, those are some good choices. This one's going to be fun. Absolutely.
Hey guys, Anthony with the Rag Company, and have you checked out our Instagram? You haven't? You have. I'm not really sure, but it is arguably the most entertaining Instagram page of all time. It's hilarious. There's tons of cool towel posts and detailing products, and I'm not really selling this, am I? Not really? Okay. Well, it's a really cool page where we post a ton of sale content as well as cool pictures of new products and new releases and kind of everything we do there. And we also host the Grand Ambassador program on there as well, which is our take on a sponsorship. Now, to learn more about the Grand Ambassador program, just check out the link down below in the description and it'll take you to one of the main pages that kind of talks about the program and what we do, but is ultimately our take on a sponsorship. And we've had plenty of Grand Ambassadors watching this show with you right now. So you can check out our Instagram in the links below. Make sure to check it out. Give us a follow. I think that you're really going to like it.
Hello,
Doesn't it
hello,
feel
and
good?
welcome back to Q&A Thursday, where once again, well, okay, this is not once again, this is
Jackie Daytona's out
He brought
here,
Jackie Daytona out
ready to
front,
help out.
showcasing
It's a great
Bead Maker.
color.
Good morning.
The color scheme is just right.
Perfect. Bead Maker orange.
Yeah, so welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us now, this has been an excellent, excellent Q&A, but I'm sure there's much more to go. So I'm going to start things off here.
Okay.
William here has a question for Renny.
Oh, no. It's William Lara.
No, William
no,
Quintana.
no,
Thank
William
goodness.
Quintana.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not
Well,
live.
you're safe. You're safe.
Fast.
He's been curious as to what you do in the military. Would you mind telling us a bit, Renny?
Yeah, so I'm in the Cal Guard, and I am a warrant officer in charge of all ground search and rescue training. That's my current gig.
Nice. Right on.
All right. Next up, I've got Dan here. I spy a penis. Oh, no. Whoop. I didn't see nothing.
We're not going to tell
Next-
you
next
any more
question.
about it.
Dane.
Keep
Next
going.
comment.
Yeah, look at that. Keith won't even tell you.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Trisha.
Trisha.
Hey guys, I got bird poop etched onto my car. I do remember removing this bird poop when I saw it right away. How do I get rid of this etching, and how do I prevent this?
Ooh.
Can't believe it etched.
Strong stuff, man.
Yeah.
So
Is
even
it
if
coated? I'd like to know
Yeah.
if it's coated or not.
Could be on
Well,
the coating. It could be
Yeah.
just
If-
sitting on the surface.
So
still.
the surface etching is something that could potentially be fixed with a little bit of polishing. It just depends on how far the etching went, because depending on the the acidity or the pH of that of the poop, you have to kind of gauge how deep it goes, because sometimes it can go further than the actual clear itself and actually bubble the base underneath as well. So you could chase that clear as much as you want and then still find something underneath that clear that you can't get rid of, and before
Absolutely.
you know it, you've burned through. So I would try to do maybe like a light polish or light compound, see how far and see how deep it is. You could try to clay it off first if you want to go something a little bit less aggressive, but kind of gauge how deep it is. But in terms of preventing that in the future, it all comes down to having a well-protected car, and I think that in terms of protection, having a ceramic coating or something, like Inspiration or Legend on your car will definitely give you much more time. I mean,
Absolutely.
the chemical resistance there, if that etched within a day, you could probably leave it on a couple days to a week with a coating and know that you're absolutely safe. It's a matter of how far that stuff can break through.
Amen.
All right. Jeremy coming up here saying, for Renny or Levi, or anyone, I guess, LOL, in your professional experiences, which pad compound/polish combo have you seen works best on black paint, particularly soft black paint?
We found out, so the GM paint is, it's a big topic right now, in our industry. We found don't dive too deep.
yeah.
And so we've, it depended, it's a big question, because how far are you going? Are you doing a stage 1, 2, or 3 on it, and so forth. But compound, we really like the black long weave buff and shine microfiber with last cut. If we're going multiple steps, stage 2 or 3. That doesn't dive in seriously deep. Use low speeds. Take your time. It doesn't build up the heat too bad. And so if you're going to go lighter cut, if you don't want to go into that, the blueberry pad, again, with adjusting to either a good solid polish or a compound on one of those has been really well. But the key is, don't dive in deep. Don't open it up. You open it up, you're gonna have a lot of work before you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I've got Ricardo with a question for Gordon. Ricardo wants to know what your favorite car has been that you've owned.
Ooh,
Past,
hard
present,
question, right?
future?
Maybe it's a hard question. Maybe it's not.
Might be the next. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'm guessing you're not going to tell us about
No,
that
you
just
know,
yet.
it's tough to pick favorites when it comes to just about anything, right? I have to say, I've been thinking a lot about my first car. You know, your first car definitely played a big role in your life. I think
Absolutely.
everyone would
Tattooed
agree
mine
with
on my
that.
arm.
Well, there you go. I haven't quite gone there yet, Levi, but so, and it's funny to see the popularity of Datsun 510s, particularly two-doors. They've kind of gone through the roof. They weren't that great of a car. I have a tough time justifying the value on some of these things that
It's a
pop up, right?
platform.
It's a platform. It's a car that was meant to be modified, like your R9T,
Yeah,
Anthony. And I don't know. I just had such fond memories of that car and what I did to it. You know, I bought a totally stock 510 and turned it into something pretty crazy, which I traded up into a 911 Porsche for. So, you know, when I was
good move.
19 or whatever.
pretty
But yeah, so maybe the 510.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad choice at all. Oh, and next here we've got Chris Woolman popping in again, saying
It's all over it.
Hey, Gordon, if you could buy any car in the world right now that you don't already own, what would it be?
Chris, I don't recognize you without the fan over your head, for one. For two, so the years I spent working at a Ferrari dealership, there was a car that I really, really fell in love with, and that's the Ferrari Daytona, the 365 Daytona, the GTB. It's just it's not a fun car to drive around town. I've put a lot of miles on GTBs, but they go up and down in value. But I just think it's one of the prettiest cars ever built, clearly.
Yeah.
And mechanically, it's a tour de force. It really is. It's a fun car. The only downside to those cars is that the clutch, the brake, and the gas pedal all feel like the brake pedal.
Oh, really? Really?
well,
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
six Webers.
Wow.
The accelerator with tight springs is like a rock. The clutch, you know, it helps to be a cyclist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are, it's a Grand Touring car. Once you get them rolling, that's the key. You know, you get them rolling. There's really nothing like them. And the sound, 4,500 RPM, third gear.
car's-
front engine
oh,
Ferrari V12. You can't
Yeah,
go
it's the window's never up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wrong. No, that's an amazing choice. Next up, I've got Hiram here simply saying, how's it going from HTL Detailing from San Diego.
Man, what's up? Big Tone. Big Tone. In the house.
Next up, I've got Anthony. Can you read this one?
It says, I think so. I can't tell you who it's from, but I can read, which TRC towel do you recommend for wiping off Bead Maker on my gloss black rims after cleaning them? So on gloss black wheels, it's one of those things where I always like to...
He bumped it up for you.
Oh, thank you. My eyes. And that's from, I still don't know who it's from, but
Poets.
it's... Poets
Final.
Poets
Final?
Poets Final.
Female?
So when it comes to using Bead Maker on gloss black wheels, I would still recommend using a decent towel, right? So I wouldn't use something in a super short pile because typically when it comes to gloss black wheels, oftentimes people miss something when it comes to the cleaning. Oftentimes, I'm not saying that you are, but most of the time people still miss things. So there's still contaminants on there. So I still try to use a towel with a little bit of a higher pile to where you have a little bit of a safety net there when it comes to wiping off with Bead Maker. And so I feel like a good towel that has the best of both worlds would be like the Creature Edgeless that has a longer pile on one side with a shorter pile on the other. So if you are having to do any type of major knocking down of contaminants, you can use the longer pile side and then flip it over to the shorter pile to really kind of level everything out. And so, and being a 70-30 blend, it's the safer route. So.
Okay. Next, of course, Dan Pfeiffer always has to make
Oh
himself
man,
known
late
this way.
again. Here's a big word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, y'all. It would not be Friday Eve if we didn't get a word up from Dan Pfeiffer.
Of course.
What's up,
Thank you, Dan. Jeremy back here again. Another Renny question, looks like.
Also, Renny, I'm really looking forward to meeting you in August for your
Cool.
5-day course. I'm ready to hone in my skills, learn a ton, and increase my profits.
Heck yeah.
Jeremy
Start
Carrillo.
working out now and go on a diet because
Well, Renny also
work
has
you hard and feed
feats
you
of
a lot.
strength. Yeah.
They
Get
had,
up
they had
on
to,
your
they had to buy
sleep
more
before you
tables to
go.
feed you guys is what they had to do.
that's exactly it. Yeah, we're no lie. My wife doesn't joke around with the food thing. So
Fair play. We got Aaron's here again.
PNS should release a Bead Maker flavored drink. Actually, Pepsi already
yeah.
did. It's called the Mango Zero Sugar
Yeah.
Pepsi. It's delicious.
It's a real thing, and it is
Yeah.
delicious.
there you go.
Cola,
Sid.
I'm gonna have to
Bead
try
Maker.
one before I
It's
leave.
zooming in
just
on
like that,
Sid's
dude.
there.
It's good.
And rotate that bottle there.
Oops, wrong way.
Yes, they want to
There we
read the
go.
nutritional info.
Dun, 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 dun.
I like what we've been doing with the
come
zooms
close?
on the
That's
camera
so
lately
good.
because it reminds me of a sports game.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
when they
Yeah.
zoom in really far.
Let's see what this guy's saying 300 yards away. All right.
Closest
next.
you're going to get to Pepsi and Bead Maker mixed together.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's good though.
It is good. It reminds you of Bead Maker.
Yeah,
It does.
Which is really
All right, MMC Detailing. I'm from Romania, and PNS products just made their way here.
Nice.
I was
Love it.
so happy I bought every product available.
Wow.
Bead Maker's color makes it hard for me not to drink it.
That's awesome.
Right, man. Be careful.
Giorgio's here follows up saying very soon.
Guys, be careful not to drink any wrong bottle there.
Thank you for that.
Well, the good news is these all have sprayers, so
There's
we
a
have
lot
to
of
squirt
bottles
it
here.
into
they
our
have
mouth.
those.
Yeah.
They have the safety top. That's
And
why
they
they
also
have
have
the
the
safety top.
Yeah.
I mean, until sodas start doing that, we don't have to worry.
Right.
Nick here saying, I live in Arizona. What level of UV protection can one expect from Legend or any ceramic coating in general? Would you guys like to weigh in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, nothing, here's the deal. I love to preach keeping healthy clear coat from the factory healthy because nothing beats the UV inhibitors that are in the paint
Better, yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Okay? So first off is that it starts with you being reasonable with your correction on factory clears. Now, coatings, it's going to be better than nothing. And Legend, because of the consistency of it and how we made it, is pretty incredible. It's really going to help out. In Arizona, for instance, was one of our test beds, and we noticed a substantial difference in silvers. Silvers and sun don't necessarily go together too well. Believe it or not, whites and silvers fade out faster than any other color. And so a lot of times you'll see silvers and whites are a little harder sometimes than other colors that we correct. And it tested very, very well against all the leading competitors. But, I hate to ever down any coatings. There's a lot of good coatings on the market. We believe in ours heavily. And coatings over paint are going to help, period.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lot
Well,
more
and
than-
the biggest thing people need to remember too is there's a reason you need to take care of your clear. So from the
Absolutely.
factory, the UV inhibitors in the paint only last for about 5 years. After that, they enter half-life and they start to degrade much more quickly. And so if you don't care for that in that first 5 years and put something on it to protect it, especially if it's a vehicle, say like my 2006 Hyundai Elantra that I've owned for over 16 years. That car, when I first got it, I started protecting it. But there was a point where the factory clear has nothing, there is no UV inhibitors anymore.
Right,
And
it's
so it's
gone.
reaching a point where there are parts of the vehicle that are starting to fail. To no fault of my own because I protected it, but it's failing now at year 16. Then previous people who have never touched their car, that clear would fail within 6, 7, 8 years because
Absolutely.
they never protected. And so it's just like your skin has to be moisturized, has to be cared for, has to be, you can't just
It's got to be exfoliated.
hang out in the sun and
It's
let
a
it.
big
Yeah, it's got to be
sponge.
exfoliated.
Yeah.
It's got to be cleaned and cared for. So,
And if
like
you can
Renny
imagine,
says,
if we were to
care
take a
for it.
razor blade, Levi, and slowly start shaving away parts of that clear coat, which AKA paint correction, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that at correction at all cost, and it's got to be tamed down and talked
Yeah.
about because those half-lives can
You can
start
break
happening
through
at-
there.
Oh yeah,
in year 2 or 3,
that's exactly it.
you can wet sand through it, and then that's gone. You don't
I
have that
love
anymore.
that you're bringing that up.
Yeah.
I think that we need to do that as an industry a lot more. I think it's a great question. I love that question, and spread the word on that because it's something that is not understood or not cared about in some situations in our industry.
Yeah.
How willing are you to offer repaint?
Yeah,
First, do no harm, right?
yeah.
Yep.
First, do no harm.
Oh, what's this? I got Capital High Video
Oh,
Broadcasting.
come on, guys.
Capital High School's bet
They're
on
betting-
weight loss competition winners, Mr. Garcia. He's killing
I
it.
think that was Gabe. I think he still
I
has
feel like he just
access.
wrote that.
I think he
Oh,
wrote that himself.
Wow.
That is so
Wow.
sad.
Look, you
He
haven't
quickly
worked there.
changed accounts to Riverglen
Oh,
Junior
okay.
High.
Oh, look
GNN
at that.
News. Hold on a second.
And he's just seconding
What?
himself.
So what, Gabe's down 131 from 141?
Yeah.
Or-
yeah.
He makes
Can't
sure you
remember.
know.
Wow.
Way to go, Gabe.
Yeah, he's getting down 20 pounds. So
All right. Then, back to detailing.
Ridiculous. I have a
Ridiculous.
Rupes light for swirls. What's the best way to know you're good to go on the swirls for a one-step? I know some lights make things easier, hard to see scratches. So if you're doing a one-step, you should never attempt true correction with a one-step.
Yeah.
That's not what a one-step's for.
Right.
It's about 50% improvement over what it is. So you're still going to have those scratches. You're still going to have that. And honestly, you will never achieve 100% correction on factory paint.
No.
Yeah.
That
Not
is
on
that
factory
is
paint,
unattainable.
Yeah.
Jay Leno says that 100% car, the second it leaves the factory, ends the 100% car, and it never gets back, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Is elements start chipping away at it, and and it's start training your own eye, and then charge what your shop
Yeah.
rates are and what you need to make a good living.
Yeah, you should look at let's just take a 12 by 12 area. Let's say there are 1,000 scratches in that surface. If you can get it down to having 500 scratches, that is your 50% increase in correction, and that will be perfect.
Absolutely.
And your customer will be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Here's the amazing thing. We train every month, and we are finding now with the modern day products, machines, pads, and towels. And I'll be honest, 5 years ago, I never dreamed one of the most important elements in that discussion would be the toweling.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
it has become that. And I think that's why you're seeing the success you are. But now we're starting to see where we can jump that 50% up to 70 or 80%.
Right.
If
Sure.
you really know what you're doing and you're
Yeah.
using the right combo. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not going to go through professional training, try to work together with other detailers. Try to get educated, get mentored and trained and so forth, and get off of YouTube and go start meeting other professionals and start honing in your skills together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go meet with a couple detailers, plan a Saturday, go rent a car, have some fun.
That's
learn it,
exactly. Amen.
Take care of each
Yeah.
other.
That fails junkyard panels.
Yeah. Too.
All right, Dirk Dew here, simply saying, great round today. I love your Q&As.
Thanks, Dirk.
Hey, we love that you love them.
Hopefully we'll get to see you this summer.
Yeah. And then Sam Taylor here.
I just picked up some PNS bug off. Does it require a dwell time?
Yes. So I usually start. Before I even start washing the car, I apply bug off. I usually give it a good 3 to 10 minutes to sit. That's kind of the beauty of the product, is it doesn't necessarily harm the car to sit there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a bad thing.
Now let's back up a little bit before I say that. If you're using in direct sunlight, hit it right away.
Okay.
But if you're indoors or in shade, you've got a lot of working time with that product, and it's not going to harm anything on the car.
Yeah.
If you are using bug off outside or in the sun, I would recommend diluting it 1-to-1. Just so that you don't have it full strength. It's still going to work great, but I leave it for several minutes, and then it comes off great with I like the Jersey Bug Scrubber with bug off. It really
Yeah.
works awesome.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
We used it yesterday.
Yep, we did. Awesome stuff.
Then Luca here with the ever important question: will there be an updated version of Bead Maker?
Well,
Always wanted it.
we don't hold still very long.
No.
But I will tell you, we got a good thing going. We are looking at some very cutting edge things, and I will tell you, hold on to your hats. Because Dave is a very progressive chemist. He's good at what he does, and all I'm going to tell you is, will we mess with Bead Maker? Stand by. Stand
Nice
by.
and cryptic. I like it.
Is it going to be anytime soon? No. Will it change Bead Maker itself? No. It's going to be something that the industry's never seen before. And
That's
it's
too much
coming.
information.
Wow,
Renny.
big words.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan here. Oh, excellent. Dan's always got good questions. Mr. McCall, I believe you mentioned being a detailer in the past. How did your transition from that profession to an event planner?
It's a good question. It came to me. I was running a successful shop, successful business, and I started throwing appreciation barbecues for my clients. And just happened to happen around the time of year when the whole world comes to the Monterey Peninsula for Car Week. And it just organically came out of that. I mean, that's how the event side came out of it. While I was a detailer, I was recruited by an auction house, Christie's Auction Company, and ended up running that department 10 years later. But it was all related to my detailing. So once a detailer, always a detailer.
finds
You
a
know,
way.
people ask me to go off that. People ask me all the time, you know, who are people you look up to? The nanosecond I met that guy, I followed him. And it's because of the fact of what he's done, but he's kept true. You guys can see him being around. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to listen to. You guys that get ugly with each other, we have private conversations. We know who we don't like and who we really enjoy, but the rest of the world doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that he is a definition of that's who I look up to.
Yeah.
Is guys like this, him in particular.
Well, thanks, Renny. You know, there's plenty of room for all of us. There really is. Sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, I've got a question here from Kyle Clark, of course. Popping in, he wants to know what cool cars are coming to the party this year. I imagine you can't tell us all of them.
So I've got a short answer for you, Kyle, and that is what cool cars aren't coming to the party.
Based on what we saw last time, that's a fair assessment.
Well, what's fun is I don't know if Dane brought this up, Gordon, but last time, 2 years ago, when we were on our way, we were on the plane, flying Alaskan Airlines, and we're talking to Dane, and Dane's like, the De Tomaso. When the De Tomaso
P72. Can I see that car?
P72.
Yeah. I wanna see that
It
car.
is there. I will die a happy man.
Yeah.
I was like,
And all of us are like, okay, Dane, tell us more about this car. He sat the whole plane ride, talked Anthony and I's ears off about this car, and we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, we know. Okay, Dane,
I never
whatever.
thought I'd say it in real life.
And Dane was just like, he was hot and bothered and ready to rock for that De Tomaso.
And did you get a chance to meet the designer? Who was there as well?
Got to talk to the designer,
Peter
got
Brock.
to talk to the folks there, and we actually got to wipe it down. So that
There
was
you go.
cool.
Yeah. So
was pretty
Dane was trying not to hyperventilate while he was wiping
That's
the car
fun.
down
Gotta play
because
cool.
the dream came true for him.
Yeah.
And it was you literally after that moment you were still talking. We were like, Dane, we were there. We had a camera on you, and he kept going like, you guys don't understand. I got to see the date. I got to touch it. We were like, we know. You were handing us towels. We
were there.
know. We were there. And he's like,
For
you guys
20
don't understand.
For
He was-
24 hours after that, all we heard was,
that's all of us. Yeah.
that's all he did.
Yeah.
You
I
just
don't get like that often, but
Yeah.
that
I
should
think
also
that
do it
night
to
you were sleeping.
awesome.
Your dad kept saying you were talking about the De Tomaso in your sleep.
about that.
He
What
a
was,
little
what was the
confused.
name that you named her?
Well,
They call it the
actually-
Dane Tomato.
We gave it a nickname. We called it the Dane
called it the
Tomato
Dane
because
Tomato.
it was a orangish red, you know, in color. And I said, Dane, that looks like a tomato. It's the Dane Tomato. We said De Tomaso.
There you
We
go.
didn't tell the designer we nicknamed it that, but it was.
knows
it was-
But he
knows
was
now.
that was the coolest thing because Dane is very focused on
I'm
on
very
what he
specific.
likes and
Yeah.
what he doesn't like.
Well,
And that's quirky. It's an unusual car.
Yeah.
It was the thing that caught my eye at Goodwood that jumped out. I was like, I want to know more about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous. I like all the old speed racer-y
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of designs and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
so I jumped out. But the other thing was at your party, I got to see the Gunther Works and
Oh, yeah.
the designing lightweight study of the singer there as well,
Yeah.
which I never thought I'd see those in person either.
Yeah,
and
Those
they're
things
right
are-
next to each other.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the De Tomaso, the P72. So yeah, interesting that car was designed by the same designer as the '63 split window Corvette and the Cobra Daytona Coupe.
Good track record.
Wow.
Yeah, good track record. Pete has a good eye for design, and so Kyle, just stand by.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some fun stuff there. I promise.
One thing I want to point out though is I remember we lost Dane.
We did.
You know, we lost Dane. We had to wait for him.
Yeah.
And we said, Dane, where are you? And Jeff was like, Anthony, he was like, find my son.
Yeah.
And I said,
we were
I will
ready
find
to
your
call
son.
Renny
and
for a
send him on a
search and
search
rescue
party.
because we
And-
could not find him. We were calling him, and he's like, "I'm by these cars," and we were like, "We are by
Well,
those cars. Where
Behind
are
a
you?"
couple F-50s in the parking lot. You know,
Yeah.
there can't be that many. Little did I realize.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm right next to the F50. I'm like, yeah, there's the F50 and there's the F40. He's like, well, there wasn't an F40, and this is in the parking lot, not the show. This is the parking lot.
I'm like, no,
and
there's
I'm like,
two F-50s and a Centenario behind
I said, no, you're in. He's like, I'm like, Dane, I think you're in a different lot. He's like, there's no way in the world that there's possibly 3 F50s in one place. And I said,
in the
Dane, I
parking lot.
think that there is. I think this is that
Turns out I
place.
was on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the
It
opposite
was-
side of the Quail. We were like,
It was
That was
too
fun.
funny. It was endless jokes.
No, I love that, and that will always stick with me as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Too good. So next up, I've got Jason here popping in.
We talk a lot about detailing cars, but little talk about cleaning your tools. What are some tips you have for cleaning your tools, like your shop vac, extractors, brushes, etc.? Jason, I will tell you right now, I don't clean anything until it starts to smell, and then I clean it. And my wife hates it.
Interesting.
We actually are back. So we don't use traditional extractors because we're really into steam. We have very powerful shop vacs that we use. So we actually run, they're wet dry, and so we about every other training. So in our shops, once a month, we clean them out very good. We hose the containers down, clean it. But then what we do is nobody cleans the hoses.
Nobody cleans the hoses.
Nobody cleans the hoses. So what we do
I used to do that in my shop, make my guys clean the hoses.
we line up a 5-gallon bucket of water, 1 gallon of vinegar,
Yeah.
with a half-gallon of peroxide, and the rest water all the way to the top. Take the filter out, and we suck that all the way through that vacuum cleaner. And what it does, it knocks everything loose, but it completely, not only does it just clean
Gets rid of the
but-
smell, too.
Yeah, it kills the smells, and it also, some of the gooey stuff in there is, it eliminates.
Yeah, because it sticks in those little, people don't realize there's all those little ridges in the hoses. And it just-
Absolutely.
those little channels, they just fall and sit in
so
there.
I think that same formula works if your dog gets skunked.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of the same smell.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So, but we're weird. After every training, we wipe down all of our tools. I've always been that way because I started out pretty broke, like a lot of us did, and so I think and you know what, detailing's and Gordon's done a great job with what he does now. Detailing's a production. It's a Broadway production, and if your stuff looks hunked up, you're going to get hunked up looking prices.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep. All right. Next,
This is less of a question, more of an observation. Hennen, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry. But this is a meeting from a big company, and this is very good dialogue.
Oh, thanks, man.
We appreciate that.
But I will say one thing that I do is with my Tornador air gun is I use that to clean out all my brushes because they get your brushes for the floor, for the carpet, they get hair in them, they get gunk in them. So what I usually do is I'll soak them in a bucket of soapy water just overnight, and then I'll dump everything in the morning, and then use my Tornador gun because it's a vortex and it pulls stuff out. And that's
I love it.
one of the things I do. I'll also pressure wash them if I need to, but I find that the pressure washer drives stuff through and pushes it farther back to the backing. So the vortex allows it to pull it up out of the surface. So
Great point.
Yeah.
I have one quick fun tip.
Yeah.
Because I like my Detail Factory brushes to be clean because they're my favorite. And so I soak them in rags to riches.
Oh, there you go.
Wow,
It totally cleans
that's a
them, make
good
them
idea.
super soft. Love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's
Dang
a
you.
multi-purpose product.
Another project. Another project.
More for you to soak. We need all the buckets.
I will give a
all
heads
the
up.
buckets.
We are 48 minutes
You ready?
behind on
You ready to
comments.
light it up?
We have about 29 minutes left, so we can make this work.
Okay. Let's get ready, Dane. Here we
We're
go.
wrapping up here.
Florian, hi, I'm from Nigeria. Love your microfiber. Is it to do paint correction and ceramic coating in hot, dusty weather above 38 degrees? Please help me on what to do. Florian, that is a
Celsius.
very difficult question. 38 degrees Celsius, hot, dusty weather. That is very hot. That is
that's
almost
hot.
too hot to be doing that. If you could wait
dusty's gonna
till
be hard.
probably early morning or late evening when that temperature comes down, even if you can hit closer to 30 degrees Celsius, that's probably the best time to do a ceramic coating.
The dust is a big concern, too.
Yeah, the dust is a
dust is
big
hard.
one. So one thing I recommend, if you can put some liquid on the floor or on the ground prior to doing that, so you can kind of knock down some of the dust around the vehicle, that would help a lot.
Yeah,
So,
and turning fans away
Yeah.
from the vehicle, get as much
Yeah.
stuff flowing away.
Yeah.
There's some real affordable ways to do that, and just do your best you can.
yeah, yep.
Renny
Right,
followed
Dane?
up saying, love it,
Rapid
guys.
fire.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's
All right.
cool.
I've got Kriposha. Wants some help with
Brakebuster doesn't seem to be doing the trick for me. Any suggestions? Are you agitating it? That's the number one question. A lot of people aren't agitating their wheels.
Got to brush them.
So
And I have a suggestion for them.
go ahead.
Because I love Brakebuster, but I there is certain times if a wheel has not been cleaned in a long time, if it's got massive brake dust, we grab the Iron Buster and I do 1 coat of Iron Buster, spray Brake Buster right over it, and you're going to be good to go. And then it's going to be much easier to maintain with Brake Buster alone, but you got to get all that really heavy iron, brake dust, all that contamination off that wheel, and then you're going to be good to go.
We even got one tip over that. Is what we
Yeah.
we really found out is you hit it with the Iron Buster, agitate it, and then right before you rinse, spray it down with Brake Buster, just a light mist.
Yeah.
The light agitation again, maybe, and then rinse, and that even makes a bigger difference,
Yeah.
huge difference.
There you go. Nice.
Yep.
Is anybody else weird like me? I like the smell of Iron Buster.
I don't
It's
mind
good.
it.
It smells
I don't mind
good.
it.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
Smells
I don't
good.
mind
I
it.
kind of like
Yeah, I
it.
enjoy
Next
it.
question.
I think it's,
Renny hates it. I enjoy it. I mean, I don't enjoy it, but I don't mind
products
it.
at all
I-
because I can
I
smell
like
it in the
it,
shower
yeah.
when I get
Yeah.
home.
Can
You
you?
know? Yeah.
It fills the air here within here,
Yeah.
and half the people are, they're kind of like I hate the smell of iron remover, and I kind of come out and I say, it's not bad. It's one of those
There you
kind
go.
of.
It's
Yeah.
not. It really is for being an iron product.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I
good.
think it's the best smelling,
It is.
least
It's very good.
offensive.
I would agree
Iron
with you.
removal.
All right.
You got Ricky on the screen.
Ricky, bike tools. Yes, I've lost count at how many I've accumulated since 1989 when I started riding. There you go, Ricky.
There you
All
go.
right,
Nice.
Dane,
Love
next
it.
one.
Bernardo?
Good afternoon, guys, all the way from Panama.
Hey.
Bernardo, what's up, brother?
What's up, bud?
All right, next one. Hello, in Algeria, we have a giant in the area of detailing. Thanks, hey, Shem. It's from your last comment.
Yeah.
Umberto says to Ricky, he's had a Trek 720 Cruiser until the 90s. That's the way to do it.
Wow, right on.
Jeff here.
Jeff C. asking a question. What is that bottle there in front of Gordon? It's the it's Aquafina.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
bottle of
Yeah. Water.
Aquafina, Jeff.
Yeah.
David Cervantes, kind of different. What's your favorite mod you've done on your personal vehicle? Mine is leveling kit and some meaty tires.
Oh.
Well, we all know my favorite mod was the Tiburon rear sway bar on the 200006 Hyundai Elantra. Tibby sway.
One of the best performance
Like calling it.
mods for your buck on a Hyundai
Really, on
Elantra.
a
You really
06
can't beat it,
Hyundai
Gordon.
Elantra.
It's fantastic.
Really,
trick.
it turns it into basically a Porsche 911. It's
On
pretty
rails.
much the same
Ranny,
thing.
favorite mod, go on your cars.
I would have to say new carbs on a 79 911 SC that I had.
Ooh,
that was
there
it
you
changed
go.
the entire performance of that car.
Nice.
And I felt like king for a year after I did that. It's pretty
you go.
cool.
Right on.
Sydney?
Mine is, what's it called? The mid muffler delete
Oh,
on my Hemi and
yeah.
made it, just so everybody knew.
Did you just flex at me when you said Hemi? Hemi? You know? Yeah.
I like the sound.
Yeah, so triple 42 DCOE Webers on a 6-cylinder 240Z with a cam and flat top pistons.
Oh, it's got to
and
sound
straight
amazing.
exhaust. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he wins for sure. Dane, your
Gallery over
favorite
there.
mod you've done to your Jag.
I like my, delete everything apart from an X pipe on the Jag and then have huge 4 pointy, tips on it. Maybe it's the ducktail I just did.
There you
I
go.
love
Yeah.
the look of the ducktail. That's
There
it.
you go.
How about you?
Anthony?
Oh, you already said
I
the
already
Tibby
said
sway
mine.
bar.
Tibby sway bar.
I'm gonna go ahead and say for my friends at Corbo Seats. Corbo Seats, they make
yeah.
fantastic seats, right?
Are you sponsored by them?
I'm
Soon to be.
maybe
was
not.
hoping.
But
I just ruined it.
yeah. Corbo Seats are fantastic. They really are. Probably one of my favorite mods I've ever done to a car ever. They're amazing seats.
There you go.
All right. Bernardo back here, just saying.
Been using Bead Maker here in Panama. My customers are going mad crazy about it. Thanks, Bernardo.
I love it. Thank you, man.
Follow it up.
Thank you.
Damn, I'm late to the party, but wow, this is an amazing group. TRC and PNS team together from Josh Unite.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it, Dane.
Look at that picture. That dude's sharp. man.
Yeah, he's ready to rock. All right, David Cervantes saying, wait, hang on. I think we're missing a certain member. I think he likes the song Word Up from Cameo.
Who's Word Up?
Okay.
And
You know the
Chris
song.
saying, is anybody going to mention that pink bottle in front of Gordon?
pink
No,
bottle?
Chris, I don't know what you're
It's
talking about.
actually
It's pink.
purple.
It's purple.
Yeah, it's a purple, and there's a clarity cream in front of him too.
Yeah.
That's pink. That might be what you're talking about.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah.
All right,
I
doing
just-
so.
Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
That one?
next question here, Dane. I never knew that Bead Maker can be used as a clay lube. It
Yeah,
can.
it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just make sure you wipe it off.
Yeah. And
After you
nice,
spray it
long,
on.
full strokes. So don't go scrub strokes. Go nice long so you get less. There's somebody in the audience that's always got to go there. Chris, it wasn't me. But you know what? Take it full if you're going to use it as a finishing step and little to no marring.
Yeah, there you
Especially,
go.
my favorite clay to use it with.
The Ultra Clay Towel by the
that
Rag
would be
Company.
it. That's you know what? You were reading my mind.
Thank you.
This next one is for Gordon.
Okay.
Mr. McCall, which bead maker scent do you like, orange or blue?
Orange all the way.
Did you ever smell blue?
Yeah.
It's all him right there. You can blame him
I
for
didn't
it.
have a lot to work with, guys. I'm sorry. I had 2 cents.
Called it summer drink.
I called it a summery drink.
Did I
You know what?
take?
It's really cool. I had more people
What's that?
comment on that blue.
Yeah?
Bomb pop. It was bomb pop.
Yeah, it's a bomb
There's
pop.
a cult following for
Did
it.
I take too long to answer that?
I think we're in the mix. I'll
like
pull
the
it back
original
here,
orange.
ask about Bead Maker.
How to use bead maker when it's hot in my country, Lagos, Nigeria. Florin, spray it on the towel, then apply it to the paint.
Yeah.
Have a dry towel. If you got any kind of wicking, immediately, because you're in such a warm climate, is
Wipe it on?
Wipe and rub.
Yep,
you know?
wet towel and a dry towel.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
All right, Lloyd G. Happy Thursday, guys. I love a used Pearl Breakbuster cocktail for pre-rinse foam as part of my decon regimen. What's your thoughts on using PNS products outside of its original intent?
Do it all the time.
We all do it that way, yeah.
But then we get in trouble later.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite something that one of my buddies up in Oregon taught me, Adam, is that you take and you pour it into a foamer, half pearl and half iron buster.
Yep.
To do a quick decon on it. Oh man.
Yep. You
I
can
want
do
to
that.
tell you, I use brake buster on engines pretty much exclusively. That's almost all I use on engines.
Yeah.
Like a cherry lemonade scent with a little bit of fault remover tinge, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, exactly.
Keep it
All right,
moving.
Dane, you all
Excuse
right?
me,
You
wrong
alive?
pipe. Wrong pipe. Ken Japer, he's a big fan of Bead
With
Maker.
Bead Maker, the heavier application and cure time is key, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to have that initial coat of Bead Maker.
All right. Decon.
Decon, what's up, everyone? Love seeing this panel of experienced and knowledgeable people. Thank you, Decon.
Thank you. Love that. Look at that
Next
cool
one.
logo too.
All right. Oh, we're back to page 1. That's nice. Okay. Despacho.
Despacito, can legend be put on freshly painted car? Is it gas permeable? I'm going to say no.
No,
I don't think-
I think
it's
with
got
anything, you
too
want to
many
wait. You
solids.
want to get
It's
get
got
that.
too many solids.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to let new paint kind of do its thing for a bit. We've
Yeah.
always been told 90 days, but most of the time 60 days is going to be adequate these days because paint's changed, a little
Yeah.
bit. But if you want to play it safe, 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, hey, look at this. We got Dylan popping in.
Hey, Dylan saying, what's up, TRC and crew? Cheers. What's up, buddy?
His picture is literally right
Weird.
on that
It's like
that
he's-
backdrop
oh, it is.
right there.
Yeah,
It's right there.
It's right there. Wow. It's almost like he was here last week. Car Parlor Detailing saying, hello, all.
God, I love that name.
Car Parlor.
I like that.
Dan with another great
Dan,
question.
back at it. What are some standout cars that you've experienced? They don't have to be the fastest or least scratched, just ones that stick out in your memories.
In a good way or a bad way?
I guess always.
Yeah.
So I had a 73 3/4 ton Chevy pickup that was rolled down a hill. I drove it to school. It was the car I drove in high school. And I loved that thing because it was fully rusted out. I mean, the fender wells all the way around had just been completely eaten free. The floorboards were also rusted out, and the only thing really keeping you from falling through was the carpet. But that truck was so fun to drive everywhere because the whole underside was new. So it had a new engine, new transmission, new front rear differentials, new transfer case. Everything was brand new underneath. Had new tires. The wheels were old and flaky, and it looked hideous.
Ratty.
But I used to take that thing through the car wash down the street here, and I got that sucker so clean that you could eat off of it, but it was heavily rusted out. And every time I'd run it through, you'd have to make sure you had somebody or maybe a cinder block on the side to hold the carpet down as it was going through, because the wind would catch up under the things from the blowers and it would lift the carpet up. So, but I loved it because I could drive it anywhere. As a 16, 17-year-old kid, let's just say maybe you bumped into some trash cans or you hit something. My dad didn't ever notice if there was a new dent on it because it was so beat. I miss that truck because of just the hideousness and ugliness of it.
That's funny.
That I wish I could have something like that again, where people are like, I can't believe you drive this thing every day. Like, and that thing was crazy reliable. I drove that thing for almost 10 years.
Well, now you got to do it, but it's got to be a sleeper.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Now that's what it's gonna have to be. But
And since we're on the first page, we're not in as big of a rush now that I know, so we can go around the horn. And if anybody wants to contribute, go ahead.
Cool.
Well, I'd say I had a tie. So mine was a two completely, vastly different cars. My 79 911 SC. It was just an amazing car. And it back then, it was just a car that you drove it. You had to drive it. And it was amazing. And then opposite of that, you got to see it. 2003 H1 Hummer. I just, that truck was, everybody rags on him. You either love him or hate him.
oh, I'm still in love with it. I'd still love to have one.
The day that I put it up for sale, my wife goes, I wish you wouldn't do this. You're going to regret it. And it's one of the biggest, that and the 911. I regret selling both of them. And if I had to pick one, I don't know which, I'd have to put, name in the hat and draw one because I love both of them.
Yeah.
Fair.
Fun cars.
Well,
Gordon?
When I turned 19, I traded that 510 I mentioned earlier. Didn't trade it, sold it, and bumped up to a 70 Irish Green 911S.
oh,
And that car really kind of opened up my eyes as to what sports cars were like, sports cars of the 70s. And I really regret having sold that car many years ago. That was just really a delightful, pure sports car.
no, can't.
And Irish Green, it's like, really?
Yeah.
A green sports car, right?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out Irish Green was Ferdinand Porsche's favorite color.
Oh.
I didn't realize that.
That's
And
pretty rad.
Alois Roof, the roof Porsches, right? Well, they can't call them a Porsche, it's a roof. That's his favorite color too, which is kind of
awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a little tidbit trivia there. Yeah.
Sid?
Yes.
I think for me, I think it's probably my Pontiac G8. I think that
yeah.
for a couple different reasons. I mean, one, it was just a really cool car, and there was very few of them made. It was a major sleeper car.
Yep.
And it was also the car that I went from the SUV as a mom with 2 5-point harnesses, car seats, and I got to go back to a sedan.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. So that was a turning moment in my career as a mother. So that was kind of exciting. But then I also got this really awesome V8 sleeper that was so fun to drive. I loved it. But then on top of that, it was also the reason that I went into my business.
Yeah.
So, it will always hold a special place in my heart for that reason. Cool. And I would give anything to have it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
I wish I wouldn't have sold it.
Anthony?
It's not even a car I own. My friend Randy, he didn't know how to drive stick shift, and he was looking at cars to buy. Found a yellow Mini Cooper S, a supercharged Mini Cooper S, right?
Yeah.
It was straight piped. It had already had some stuff done to it. Didn't know how to drive it. I had to teach him how to drive it. But by me teaching him how to drive it, he felt more comfortable with me driving it for about a week and a half. That's probably the most fun I've ever had in a small car like that. Those supercharged, they are
So fun.
they are a riot. They're so small, they're so fun. The transmission feels very good, very notchy. And then I would say that was just a stand-up car. Remember, it was a piece of crap, but holy crap, it was fun while we had it. It was good. And then it blew up. He forgot to put oil in it. But anyways,
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Dane?
For me, it was probably the first time I drove an NA Miata that really stood out to me because I've driven a fair number of cars, lots of diverse different kinds of cars and stuff, but I'd never driven rear-wheel drive something that small and that light, and it was just a whole different experience putting the top down and being able to drive. It felt like a toy. I'm a larger guy, so it was a different experience sitting in that, but as soon as I drove one once, it belonged to my ex's dad, I had to go out and find one. So I looked out, found a clapped out one that I wanted to fix up, and it kind of became my thing. Yeah. So I fell in love with that car, and I would get another one.
That's cool.
If it popped up for the right, price.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next question, Dane.
All right.
Great.
Grant Hawtree. Good morning, everyone. Renny, listen to your podcast with Jason from Chicago Auto Pros. And yes, you're ugly as well. Love you all. Long time.
Yeah, Grant, love you too, bro. Yeah, I gotta. If this was my podcast, I'd say something different, but I'm on there, so I'll be nice. Grant's cool people, man.
Oh, man. All right, we got Weaver.
Weaver, if I had to choose just one PNS product to clean carpet, would it be Carpet Bomber or Terminator? Honestly,
Why would you choose?
Yeah, but if you did have to choose one, I would say Terminator. Terminator seems to be the best at breaking down stuff. Initially, just that.
And then, but don't think like a detailer. You got to have one more product. You got to neutralize it. So you're gonna have to use finishers. So if you only did one, terminate it. You got anything you put on carpet or fabric, you got to neutralize.
Yeah.
So start the new way of thinking as detailing professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice comment here from William, following up with his question to Renny earlier.
Renny, that is awesome. My father's a warrant officer aviator. I'm currently building my packet for the Army's straight-to-seat pilot program. Thank you for your service, sir.
Nice.
We would have Keith in the audience and his brother. Yeah.
Brother and now his son, who we're losing to.
Yeah, so his brother and his nephew are both, and his brother's kind of quite accomplished pilot, flies attack. So, hey, bless your heart, stay. Tell your dad I said thank you on behalf of all of us, our entire team, and then thank you and stay safe and good luck. If you need any input, we got some military power among us that we can. We know a few guys that can give you some input.
Nice.
There you go.
Alkaline Topet, Dan, back again.
Dan, back. When it comes to owning multiple cars, how do you manage the stress of trusting someone to properly care for it versus the time cost of doing it all yourself?
Ooh.
Managing this, I've never let anybody else take care of them.
Yeah, I mean, my own cars. I mean, you find the right person in the front relationship, and just realize that people trust you. You got to trust others.
Yeah.
And just be a really good read of people. I had a real hard time with my Chevelle because it's got so much sentimental value. It's a special car, and it's an all numbers matching. It's never been 72,000 original miles, never been rebuilt. Nothing's. It had a boo boo and got in a crash before I bought it. It's got some real mediocre bodywork to it and so forth. But I'm still, because of the precious value of things that we've done in that car, it's got a lot of value. But now I've got the right people around me that I totally trust. When they take the car, I know it's in as good a hands, if not better.
Yeah. No, totally fair. Anybody else want to add to that? Anybody? I imagine. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, take care of it yourself. That
trust
also
no
works.
one.
Yeah, I trust no one.
She gave us dirty looks. We'll
Just don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No one. But I did let you guys work on the Challenger, so
Yeah, you did.
I totally let that go.
Supervised.
That worked out fine.
And I did see someone else drive your car away today from lunch.
Yes, I did. Yes.
A lot of trust there.
He owes you a set of tires.
Yeah.
2 sets of
Do
tires.
the work yourself. That's the key.
Yeah,
keep
that's
it
right.
manageable.
All
Don't
Yeah,
extend
don't overextend.
beyond your own capability.
Well, like I remember
you
when
go.
I
That's great.
when I first got married, I had 7 cars, and my wife said, 2 of them run. What are you going to do with
great.
these 5? And I said, I'm going to fix them. And she said, you haven't fixed them in 5 years.
because I'm looking for an 8th.
And that's literally what I was like. Well, I need an 8th so I can pull the transmission, the rear end, the engine.
Parts
So
car, yeah.
one will go in there, one will go in there, and one will go over there. And she said, no, just get rid of them. And I said, okay. But I overextended myself. I had too many projects, and the fact that none of them drove or ran, you really start to lose, the want and need and desire to work on something if it's never going to drive. And so my dad said, why don't you sell everything, buy something that actually drives, and then work on it so that it becomes better. And I said, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. That's
Make
a
that
little
your
I
thing,
I
yeah.
could do that. So now I make sure that if I buy something, it's got to drive or run, or at least if, the term of green bean,
Yeah.
I can hook it up to the back of my Suburban and take it to the dump. So
It rolls
Yeah, it
places.
rolls around places. So.
We got Reed here.
Do you think Soul will last a year in New York weather conditions?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it would,
I
Reed.
do.
It also depends on
Take
how
care of
you're
it.
caring
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I've
Yep.
run the Soul that we put on a couple months ago. I've run it through 6 times at the local car washes here.
are not kind
It's
to it.
still holding up.
Yeah, so taking it and re-energizing it. Also looking at is it garaged outside 24/7, and if it is, just take a little better care of it. Getting contaminants off. Don't let it get too dirty. Apply some Bead Maker over it, and then being honest. If it's your own car or somebody else's car, maybe it's worth a slight correction and reapply to 6 months.
Yeah, and enjoy it, right? It's another type of it's a therapy. It's an
Oh,
aromatherapy session.
Peppermint.
When you start applying that.
What did we
Soul.
say it was when I was here last time? It's like reindeers jumping out of your butt. It's just got that smell.
Nice.
Can't miss that.
It's very minty
Very
fresh.
very specific.
Still, you want to do that TV program with me?
7 second thoughts.
Get the corpse.
You can't unsmell that.
But now you know what it smells like.
It's a queen reindeer.
And on that note,
Kirby Thompson, question for the new 16-ounce dynamic dressing. Is it ready to use, but what ratio does it compare to the concentrated ratios from the gallon?
Who has the bot right here? Me?
Yeah.
So
There it is.
Yes, it is ready to use. So this is at 4:1, which is the most common dilution. And so this differs in that the gallon is full strength. And so 1 gallon of dynamic dressing would equal approximately 40 pints. So you're going to get a lot out of 1 gallon. So yes, it is absolutely.
The cost of entry into the gallon is more expensive, but
Yes.
as long as you
Absolutely.
know
Yes.
it is a dilutable product,
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
then
Absolutely.
you're going to get your money's worth. But for the people that
Yep.
aren't ever going to go through 50-something
Right.
of those,
Right. Yep. So that's why
That
we
makes
put
more
it in an
sense.
RTU in a pint. I like to call it like the fun size, try me size.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you're not sure if you're going to like a Kit Kat,
Yeah.
try that.
everybody
So
likes
yes.
a Kit Kat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I was thinking of dynamic was a
Right.
Kit Kat bar.
Exactly.
Are you hungry?
Exactly.
I will say when I use dynamic on tires and inner fender wells, Augie walks into the garage and he goes, "Oh, that's my favorite
Oh, man,
smell."
me too.
He says that to me and I
Yeah.
go, "Funny, because it's bananas and you hate bananas.
Yeah.
You won't eat one." But he's
Artificial
like,
bananas
"Oh,
are
I
good."
love the
We use-
smell of that.
you know,
he
we-
loves
we-
that smell.
The shop truck, the swirl salt, which has been here a couple times now, is we use it on the wheel arches, and it's a great. It really, if I've got fuel wheels on it, and they get kind of crappy after a
Yeah.
while,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to take and put a gloss back on those wheels. Is you spray that on and let it dry, and then just wipe off the excess. Oh man, the
Yeah.
wheels look great.
Totally rehydrates them. Yep. Yes. So it is ready to use, ready to go.
Okay. Cameron Messina.
Bead Maker versus C2V3, which is better? Cameron, so
They're different.
fun fact, it really just depends on how you're caring for it, how you're using it. And remember, Cameron, when you were here last, we had to strip a lot of protectant products off of your vehicle, sir. So to just make Bead Maker work. So you do have to make sure that if you're going to pick one or the other, that your paint is naked, and then you hit it with paint prep prior to install. So whether you're using C2V3, use panel wipe. If you're going to use Bead Maker, make sure that you use paint prep, because it'll really give it the proper base for it to sit, and then make sure you're using the proper application of it. So Bead Maker needs to have a full application first, compared to C2V3, which is a lot less sprays. However, if you do Bead Maker right, it can be pretty close to rivaling C2V3 in terms of longevity and gloss and slickness.
A lot of people don't realize that. Robert Earl and I go back, a long ways. And I still get invited to their summits. We still use their products in training. It is 2 different products. And I think you've got a longevity advancement with C2V3, and you've got a shine and general look advancement with Bead Maker. So it's really 2 different things used for 2 different applications, and both great products by great companies.
Yep.
All right, I got Reed here.
Ooh, Reed Manigan. After doing a full decontamination, 1-step paint prep, will so last New York weather? We already answered that, Reed.
Yeah,
Trying to be
Reed.
honest with the customer, and they have to do maintenance clean to keep it up to last. Yeah, it'll last you a year. You'll be fine.
So Reed, I don't live in New York, but I live in a mountain community at almost 7,000 feet that's got extreme UVs. We have snow. We have what's called decomposed granite that's all over the roads. We've got salt. We've got, all these different things. And on my car, well maintained, it makes it through with no problem.
Yep. Okay, Dane, we got to rapid
Yeah.
fire some of these. We
We got
got
about
6 minutes
10,
left.
15 here to go. So, Delphine.
All right, as a car owner without a garage, the greatest improvement I would love to see with Bead Maker or a future product is a faster cure time.
Noted.
Noted. Thanks, Delphine. Okay,
Okay.
Dane, next one.
Turkey.
Oh,
Can I add something really fast
Go
to
for
that?
it,
You
Sid.
can help the cure time of Bead Maker with putting paint gloss
Oh, that's
over
right.
it.
Yeah, put
because
some paint
it
gloss on top.
counteracts the positive charge of Bead Maker, creates a negative charge.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help the static issue. So you can speed that up by putting a layer of paint gloss over the Bead Maker.
there you go.
Excellent.
Forgot
Now
about
Turkey.
that. Yeah. All right, Turkey saying, "Hey guys, I have a 2013 Ford Expedition. Which drying towel should I buy? The Liquidator. Pick it up. The
The
big
biggest one you make.
Yep, 25 by 36.
Hell,
Oh,
yeah.
Is the
I
largest.
think this is Gumi here.
Hey, Gumi, saying you guys are amazing. Thank you for being so awesome. That is our Icelandic rag
right.
company
Look at that
distributor.
beard, man.
Awesome.
Dude, that is a beard.
Yeah.
Holy
Good Mundur,
crud.
Einar
That's awesome.
Harold
There might be a penguin in there.
Yeah. Innovate Texas. Has anyone tried body wash from the PNS Chemtrol line?
Yes.
Keith has.
Oh, I use it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
There you
It
go.
smells really good. I use it for more on the decon stripping side of things.
Okay.
So.
Instead of maintenance.
Yeah.
All right. Finish line shine.
Hey, TRC crew, question for the Master of Shine. Could O&R wash and wax possibly be used on interior for cleaning and leaving behind a little protection? If not, which product would you recommend? Yes, I actually recommend using O&R wash and wax for very dusty interiors. So service trucks, things that have a fine layer of dust, because the O&R encapsulates all that dirt and it doesn't smear. So it doesn't make mud. That's the biggest thing. A lot of interior products, when you put them on, they don't encapsulate the dirt, especially when there's heavy dust. So O&R wash and wax actually does that, and yes, it does leave a little bit of carnauba wax protection over the surface of that. And then you can clean it normally with an express interior cleaner or something. But yeah, I do recommend O&R wash and wax for that. So
Okay, now poets.
should I agitate iron buster on my rims? Ain't I scratching them by moving the loosened iron particles around? No, you're not. But yes, please agitate.
Yeah, with the right
Yeah,
brushes.
yeah, like
With
a
the right
detail
brushes.
factory brush
Yeah,
or
absolutely. You
or
won't
even
do
our
it.
body brush, any of those.
Yeah, a safe brush. Finish line shine again.
Could paint gloss possibly use as anti-static interior spray?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney's using it. You
Yeah.
use it.
I
You
use,
do it.
Yeah, I use paint gloss all the time. And here's a quick little tip on paint gloss. Because it is an anti-static spray, I use it as a vacuum aid.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so it's
smart idea.
awesome for
Dog
vacuuming.
hair.
Yes, dog
I told
hair,
her- she told me, I was like,
sand.
you're crazy.
Yeah.
And I went,
Yeah.
no, she's not.
So
Especially
you know when you're vacuuming and the sand pops up, sticks back down, pops up, sticks back down. Totally eliminates that.
yeah.
So yeah,
especially if you're
absolutely,
using
I use
something
it.
like a for real or something.
Yeah, I can't vacuum without it.
helps provide.
Ryan Hoff.
Got paint gloss on order. Can't wait to try it over Bead Maker to deal with the static charge. Northern California pollen is getting out of control.
Yeah, same with us, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
We're getting into pollen season. I can tell you this: we just hit it, and I did the trick on my car. One side just bare, the other one with that over the top of the Bead Maker, and it made a huge difference.
Huge, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Josh Unite. Hey guys, I've been using 3D Products fabric shampoo to remove hard salt stains, but it's not working as well. Is there a PNS product that is super effective at removing hard salt stains on carpet?
You know, so let's talk about super easy. Salt stains are really, it's not an easy process, but our 3-part process, so you're going to use Terminator, it will do a great job of breaking that down, follow it up with Carpet Bomber, finish it by neutralizing it with Finisher, Shazam.
Yeah, you're done, man.
Yep.
All right, now we're kind of powering through the end here because we are realizing we're hitting the 4 o'clock
Yeah.
threshold, but we'll get you. All right, Mark Abar.
Hello from Phoenix,
Mark.
from the PNS
What's
team.
up, man?
Mark, what's going on, man?
Keith
Good to
says
see you.
kisses.
Despacho Dream Maker, April Fool's, right?
Right.
What?
What?
Next.
We're not
Dream Maker,
next.
Huh?
Crazy.
Blue Bead Maker is the superior bead maker. Don't at me, says Jamie the Cleaner, former rag company ambassador. Yeah.
Why, if somebody
JWL saying, Happy Earth Day, everyone. Hats off to PNS for coming up with Rags to Riches. It brought over a dozen towels back to life. Don't
Awesome.
lose it. Reuse it. Greetings from the UK.
Love it.
I don't know if
Awesome.
you knew this,
Love
but the
it.
rag company had quite a bit to do to help
No,
with
we
that with PNS. They just- if PNS coated only the tires of a Kia Soul, it'd be a Soul with solely Soul on its soles.
Dan,
Good work, Dan. Good
I love
work.
That takes some work, man.
Not to mention the Brooks you're wearing.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
William Quintana. here.
Dynamic dressing or shine all performance dressing differences.
Shine All is going to be a little bit shorter performance, so better for like fleets, just maintenance washes, things like that. Dynamic's going to give a little bit more hydration, longevity. It's also better for kind of all around doing
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
it's a more self-leveling product, and so it's going to be better for the fender wells, exterior
Interiors.
plastics.
Yeah.
It's awesome on interiors.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit more of an all-around dressing.
Engines, really high-end engines we love. When you want something to look right, the Dynamic's just a very balanced product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
might call it dynamic.
It is.
Some would call it dynamic.
Yep.
As Anthony said, it's like Anthony, it's dynamic.
Car Parlor saying, thanks, I like it too, lol. Reed saying, thanks, guys, be safe.
You bet, man.
You guys are the best from Messina. Still waiting for my berries, Anthony. Finish line shine auto detailing.
Someday.
Tony's Berries. Hey, TRC, out of curiosity, do your towel manufacturers supply their towels just to you, or can other businesses resell these towels? Kieran, that's a very long-winded question for that.
You can email
to get
though,
that.
for-
You can email me, levi@theragcompany.com, and I can actually give you the proper answer.
All right. Chris Marshall here is
Good
pretty much
afternoon,
the
everybody.
big one.
Sorry if someone already asked the question. I just got here and wanted to know what an estimate between 1 or 2 coats of the new Legend ceramic. It looks super legit.
Yeah, 2 coats is recommended, but it definitely works with 1.
Yeah.
I've got it right now on my personal cars at both, and both are performing fabulous.
All right. And the last one there from Kieran, I just want to say we actually have a distributor
Yep.
in Australia, so you may be seeing that. Just putting that out there. as an option.
Yeah, so go ahead and click on that one. What does it say? What's Kieran say?
I'll pull it up there just as the last one.
So Kieran
here
says,
for
I
you.
asked, as I noticed a website in Australia selling copies of your Gauntlet, Twistress, and Twist and Shout. They even copy things like the side edge. So if it's AU Car Care Co. in
Those are our guys.
Australia, that is Rag Company Australia. And any of their sub-distributors that are advertising Rag Company towels, that is our primary country distributor for Australia and New Zealand. So if you want to check those out, aucarcareco.com.
And
They're also
Yes.
the PNS
Yeah,
distributor for Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, and
There
they're
you go.
a dream.
Yeah.
yes.
They're a dream.
Our buddy Mark Perch over there.
Yes. Want to say, anybody else got something to add before we go here?
We got a
all
flight
good
to
go?
catch.
You do. You guys got to get on a
Flight
plane.
to catch.
So
Like,
All
literally.
right.
we got to let you go. All right, guys. Dane, take
Yes.
us home.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. As always, follow these guys. I put links in the description below, so you can check that out. I'll make a pinned comment, do the same deal. And there'll be an audio version of this later for people who tend to miss these things live. So check that out anywhere you get your podcast from. All right, guys. Till next time. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.